How about me and you arm wrestle right now?
Do you feel like you have to like assert your masculinity?
Well, you want to study, we could do it. I'm not trying to assert masculinity. I'm trying to prove to you. So you wanted to blue pill me. What do you have to say besides these questions? Skyrocketing.
Same thing with men.
Of course, I am saying about that. That's why we're unhappy. I'm not saying that men are better than women. It's not. It's an argument for about the future of humanity. And I respect you for being able to have this dialogue and challenging me to debate. Most of you are not even able to do it. You stay in your little huddle. You get triggered. You lead by your emotions, and you're not capable of engaging in actual dialogue. Okay, slide me their numbers if you find them, because this is my personal experience. Tell Destiny to stop scrolling and do some push-ups. Destiny, you want to do those 20 push-ups now?
I don't know if I can do 20 anymore. I'll do 10 for you if you want.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go! Okay, so what are your names again?
I'm Erin.
Erin.
You can call me Pxie.
Pxie, I saw in your bio that you're a she-they.
Yeah.
Do you really have that listed?
I don't really give a
I thought he was joking. Oh,
I wasn't joking. So Destiny invited these two lovely ladies in to apparently, you guys think that I was failed at being blue-pilled?
You have.
I've been failed at being blue-pilled. And I thought, I was like wondering if that was a joke, because I clicked their bio and I saw she-they. Can you explain that? Because that's something that we talk about a lot. What are your gender? What do you identify? What are your pronouns?
I just really don't care about gender, like in general. Like I've thought about it a lot, and I'm just like, yeah, like who gives a fuck? Like even if you called me hate, like I don't really give a fuck.
You give a enough to put she/they in your bio.
I mean, I gave enough of to just be like, hey, like I think gender is silly. Here's a clue to that.
Oh, so it's a joke to you.
Yes, it's the biggest joke.
Oh, you're
in the
ironically
world.
gender fluid?
I just like, what does that even mean?
I don't know. I'm asking you. You're the one with she/they.
Well, exactly. Like I think since all of it doesn't really make much sense, like who the f cares what I put in my bio?
Do you have a strong attachment to your gender?
Yeah, I think so. Everyone in here, we like being, it's 95% men. I would say so. And they're actively trying to destroy masculinity. So we are.
Who's they?
The system.
They, them.
Yeah, people like you. I mean, this is new. This is something like the past 5 years. Gender's been something that has made sense forever. It's been men and women. And then now the past 5 years are like, I'm ironically a she/they. Like I ironically don't believe in gender.
What does gender mean to you? What does masculinity mean to you?
Those are two different questions. Gender is male and female.
Okay, what does
and
masculinity
we all believe in my chat that sex and gender are the exact same thing. And they change it now because I think a lot of people feel they need to have something about their personality that makes them special, and they don't have a lot. So they can attach themselves to things like gender identity or ADHD, mental health problems. Why do you want
your community to be like ideologically lockstep with that?
It's you're trying to lockstep it into gender is not real as well.
No,
That's just
but
the
you're
same
saying
thing
like everybody in your chat believes in gender in the same way that you do.
Yeah, they do. I mean, everyone's saying haram right now. I have a very religious audience. I'm not lockstepping my audience, but I'm just saying like this is generally what we talk about. Yeah, I have the Bible over here. I'm a Catholic.
Oh wow, same.
You're Catholic too?
I was raised Catholic.
Catholic.
I was raised Catholic.
Why are you saying that's Cat?
Because you can be listen, okay. I was a practicing Catholic. You can be Christian, but don't say you're Catholic.
Why not? I grew up Catholic. I go to church.
Have you been baptized?
Yeah.
Have you been confirmed?
I had one more year of catechism. I'd be confirmed.
You're in catechism classes?
No, I was. I grew up doing catechism. I did that twice a week.
Killing me. You're too old to not be confirmed, young man.
Okay, so I'm not a confirmed Catholic, but I practice Catholicism, and I would call
How do
myself
you practice Catholicism?
by praying and going to church and believing in what's in like what Catholics believe in.
What do Catholics
So have you
believe
given
in?
up premarital sex then?
You know, you sin sometimes. You sin sometimes. We're all trying to be better. You know, I drink too. You know.
How often do you go to contrition?
I don't go to contrition.
Why not?
Because he doesn't sin.
Because I'm not. I could go more. I could go to confession more. I could do a lot more. But you know, we're not perfect. And yeah, but none of you believe in God, correct?
No.
I'm agnostic, so.
But I was raised Catholic. So.
And then you left and got the black lipstick. Had like an emo phase.
Is it a phase if I'm doing it now?
Well, you're still in. How old are you?
How old do I look?
28.
28.
Oh wow! How old do I look?
How long have you been a she/they?
So if she says like a couple of years ago, you're gonna say she's like 3 or what?
I'm just trying to. What are you? 23?
Yeah.
23. Okay. So I take it you're younger than 28. Okay. We got 20 from, thank you, W Daily Rumble Stream, W Sneako, L Girls, L Destiny still on the phone, bot, 20 push-ups, please find God, girls, please. Destiny, how many push-ups can you do?
I used to be able to do 25 or 30. I don't know right now.
Can you do 20 right now? For you, Mad?
20? Probably not.
Can you try?
Can you do one? That'd be impressive if you could do one.
Really?
You Mad in here every single day making me like push over. I'm not going to fuck up the computer this time. Are you on, is he on Tinder right now?
No. Chill.
Are you playing Factorio?
No, it's the Factorio subreddit. I'm
Okay.
saying if there's any new builds out that I need to be aware of.
You Mad, I'll do the push-ups, but you know, liberals don't exercise, so especially she days. So we will do the push-ups later. I want to see like, what do you think that that Destiny has failed on blue pilling me about?
No, you had an interesting conversation about the Holocaust.
Hey Sneako, thanks for paying for my little brother's cancer treatment. I didn't do that. You don't need it. Don't fake me here. What do you have to say?
You seemed a little bit skeptical that the Holocaust happened.
No, I'm not. I'm sure it happened. I had a family that died in the Holocaust. Vice Versa, thanks for 5. Lady's gonna switch it up in front of a dude who can articulate his words and is rich as opposed to a person who repeats that's what's on the news and agrees with them all the time. Thank you, Vice Vestra. Yeah, we don't trust the news over here. But no, I 100% know that the Holocaust happened. Mm-hmm. That's the reason that I'm here. I had a grandfather, and it's still like we're not 100% sure, but he left Europe when he was 35 and then met a Haitian woman on a boat, started a whole family in Haiti. Like, why is this white guy leaving Europe? And my sister did a DNA test and found out we're 11% Ashkenazi Jew. So we assumed that his side of the family died in the Holocaust. Maybe he was Jewish, I'm not sure. But yeah, the Holocaust happened.
Do you think 6 million Jews died?
I wasn't there. I mean, it could be more, could be less.
You
It seems
can't
hard
know
to.
how many Jews were there, like unless you were literally.
I know just as much as you. I know just as much as you. But the problem I have is that you're supposed to say exactly 6 million, and if you don't, then you're called a Holocaust denier, like you're calling me that right now.
I'm pretty sure his stories say around 6
No,
million.
I never called you a Holocaust denier. I said you seem skeptical.
It's kind of what you're
about the Holocaust.
insinuating, yeah. It's kind of what you're insinuating.
No, because like the way that Holocaust denialism usually manifests, or like skepticism, right, is that you'll acknowledge that the Holocaust happened, but you have a lot of questions surrounding it, but it's usually, you already kind of have your answers to the questions that you're going to ask. I feel like it's kind of a cowardly way to engage by like asking those questions instead of just saying, I have skepticism about this.
I'm a coward because I'm not saying I'm skeptical?
Yeah, just openly say it instead of like, I just have questions about it.
I'm saying, well, that's what I believe in. You want me to believe in something that you want to argue with? Because that's not what I believe in. I think that 6 million, that they tell you to say that, and I think that you should question it when they're really specific about a number that you have to believe this. That makes me question it more.
I mean, you act like who is they, first of all?
The Matrix.
Well, yeah, if you don't say that it's 6 million, you can get in trouble in Europe. People have gone to jail for
Holocaust. Answer that question,
denial.
like, who is they requires you to say
I'm answering the question. I'm answering the question. Well, people like Nick Fuentes have got a no-fly list for believing this. Holocaust deniers in Europe.
Is that why he was on the no-fly list?
Yeah.
Was he on the no-fly list because he was standing outside the Capitol saying, break down the doors, go in?
That wasn't why he's on the no-fly list. It wasn't J6, no.
Why was it?
It was apparently they sent him a letter. It was because he threatened a flight attendant. But
oh, okay, well, that's a lot different than.
Why did you?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. He's talking on a stream. I think that was an excuse. But people can go to jail in Europe. You can go to jail for Holocaust denial. There's a lot of people. If you are critical of this, you get in a lot of trouble and you get blacklisted. It just happens nonstop. So they is a really broad term, but it's the people with a lot of control that want you to believe in a specific thing.
You said you can go to jail for Holocaust denial, but that's different than just saying around 6 million Jews. Like Holocaust denial is just saying, oh, the Holocaust didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you see how those are two different statements?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but that's part of that. When you start questioning 6 million, then you can get a strike on YouTube for questioning for Holocaust denial too. That's when you start going down the gray area. I'm more comfortable talking about this on Rumble and saying that I can question the 6 million because on any other social media platform, you can get labeled as a Holocaust denier just for saying that. Is that it? That's all you had to blue pill me about?
No.
I mean, I have just questions about like your feelings about Andrew Tate. And how you view women in general. We can talk about the masculinity thing again because I was interested in how you define masculinity.
Did you see that Andrew Tate is being held for another 30 days while they look for more evidence because they found absolutely no evidence?
Did they say
if they found absolutely no evidence, how can they hold it for 30 days?
Because they're looking for more evidence. They have no evidence. There actually is no evidence.
Somebody to look for evidence. They're holding him because they already have evidence.
If they had evidence and they would bring it to court, they wouldn't have extended it.
He's charged with a crime, so they're going to go to court.
Yeah, but there's no evidence. They're extending it because they want to go keep investigating him for another 30 days. They're going to go and try to plant something.
They have no evidence.
You really think it's fair?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Broke from Smoke says she thinks she made a point. This is sad. Thank you for the 50. I'm not really sure what your point was. Nicole says this is cringe king. What is this? They came on here because Destiny said these people want to blue pill you. Destiny failed at making me believe in the government and the media's lies. I want to hear it. I'm not getting much right now.
I just want to talk about
6 million?
masculinity. I'm
okay.
trying to like.
So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I just asked you like 3 times in a row. Like, what does masculinity mean to you?
What is masculine? What's the definition of masculinity?
What does it mean to you? Like, you kept saying, like, oh, you know, we believe in masculinity here. Like,
yeah, if we wanted to just know the dictionary definition, we would have just looked it up. But, like, we want to know what you think specifically.
Come on, didn't you guys do this? Run it around screaming, like, what is a woman? What is a woman? What is a woman? Somebody's asking a question. What is masculinity to you?
Masculinity is taking personal responsibility, is having testosterone, is being a provider as a man, is doing what you're supposed to do as a man. Those things make you a masculine man.
What does doing what you have to do as a man mean? Like, that doesn't really tell me anything. That just means, like, oh, being a man is being a man, but like, we're not really describing what being a man is.
Protecting and providing and being responsible for other people makes you a man.
And you don't think, well, do you think women are capable of protecting and providing and being responsible for other people?
They're responsible in different ways, but their role, the feminine role, is to nurture and be the spiritual balance. Their role is not to protect and provide. I'm not going to trust a woman to protect and provide for me. I would feel unsafe all the time.
Okay, I just think that's kind of interesting because you're saying, oh no, why do you think it's that the roles are so separate like that when they seem to have a lot of overlap, right? When you say like protect, providing, the first thing I think about is mothers. Right? That's like what a mother is known to do. Yet you describe that these things seem to be exclusively or mainly masculine, even though it seems like there's this huge overlap.
Yeah, I protect in a different way. When I talk about protect and providing, I mean providing like bringing bread to the dinner table. When I mean protecting, I mean being able to go fight off an intruder. I wouldn't trust you. I think that you are weaker than me in every way, and I would not trust you if an intruder came in.
You mean physically weaker?
Yes. Yeah.
Just that though.
Yeah. I am
when
stronger.
you say every way, like physically weaker,
mentally
like
as well.
do you mean mentally?
I mean, women get emotional quicker. When a fight goes down, the first thing a woman does is start screaming, and that's her line of defense. She goes, "Oh my God, stop!" But a man's responsibility is to get physical.
Some emotional men. I've never.
Yeah, I know, but the exception doesn't make the rule. See, this is why she/theys and like people like you start popping up because they see one exception. Like, I know a strong woman, and then you classify that as all women.
No, but if you're
when
going to
in
use
general,
an anecdote, then like I can throw an anecdote.
That's
back
not an
and say
anecdote.
that, like,
That's not an anecdote. This is generally all women. And are you really going to act like men aren't physically stronger than women?
I never said that. Did I
so
say
what do you
that?
need to study? You want to study for me to show you?
No. You said, oh, you know, men are more logical, like women.
How about me and you arm wrestle right now?
Do you feel like you have to like assert your masculinity?
Well, you want to study? We could do it. I'm not trying to assert masculinity. I'm trying to prove to you that, like, if you want to study, we could do a study.
No, all I asked you was like, hey, you know, like you're gonna say men are more logical, but you're not really backing this up with facts. You're just saying how you feel. You feel men are more logical, and then the first thing you responded was, let's arm wrestle. Like, what does that have to do with the statement I said?
When did I say logical?
Earlier, you said, oh, you know, like women on average are more emotional and like men are logical.
I didn't say that logical.
I feel like that was
emotional
on your part that you feel like in order to like demonstrate your masculinity immediately, you're like, fucking arm wrestle me.
Well, you said you want to do a study, and
I'm saying if you're gonna say
doing an arm wrestle a study.
Yeah, we could do an example right now. I'm a man, you're a she/they.
If you're gonna say, oh, women are more emotional or whatever, on average, I wish you had like some sort of like data to back this up other than, I feel women are more emotional, you know? I wish there was just something more you can give me than anecdotal.
Okay. I mean, you bleed once a month, and
what does that have to do with being emotional?
When you get your period, you're hormonal. We all know this. Ghost, thank you for the 10 AC. First time donating. Above all else, handled after Top G and Taliban free the guys. And Saucy says call Myron right now. Myron's doing after hours right now. Okay.
You don't think men are hormonal? I've seen some juiced up dudes who are like roid raging pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, roid raging, that will alter your testosterone and that will change your balance. But I'm like, Yeah, a woman naturally is more hormonal and more emotional than a man. We know this. This is like basic truths about the world we all know. We don't need to go and argue. Everybody knows this.
When you say women are more hormonal, men also fluctuate when it comes to like testosterone and shit.
Yeah, but not once a week, every single month, based off a period.
Once a week?
I mean, for a week, once a month.
They fluctuate like throughout the month. At least like my understanding is that's how hormones work. They fluctuate.
Okay.
Cool.
So why do you reduce women to like looking at between like men and women just by things like hormones and stuff like that?
Why do I reduce it to that? Yeah. You asked me to give you an example of masculinity. I'm saying these are the reasons why men are better at protecting and providing. That's black lipstick. We have different things that classify us, but in general, men are better at protecting and providing.
So what do you think is like important to bring up about my makeup or like my black lipstick? Why do you keep bringing that up?
Because this is some new thing where people try to become unique and special by their appearance or their gender identity rather than doing something. Because we all want to feel special. And a lot of the time we see people on the left, the blue pill people, classify themselves with their mental health, their ADHD, their bipolar, their gender identity. I'm emo, goth, blah, blah, blah. It's like you're
like I call myself any of those things?
Yeah,
you
but
assume them, but like you didn't ask me or anything.
Yeah, the black lipstick gives it away. It's just, and also the she, they in your bio. Like this is how people feel important now. I'm not triggered. This is just how people are nowadays.
I think it's interesting that you're saying, oh, people need to feel special by saying like their gender identity or the black lipstick or everything. But I look at what you're saying right now and I see you trying to be special, right? You're trying to like hone into like this masculinity. This is what it means to be a man. This is what I am.
I don't think I'm special. I think I'm the same as most people in my chat. I think we all have to get better every single day, and that's how we get value from the world. I don't think I'm special
either.
You do. She, they.
I think I'm just.
You think your gender identity is ironic? That is some special. I'm a special snowflake behavior. To think that your gender is ironic.
I think when you start asking most people like, oh, how do you define gender or whatever, they start realizing that things are not in these like completely separate boxes, and that there's a lot of overlap. And I think this whole idea that like men have to be this way is just honestly really fragile. Like honestly,
they don't have to be that way. They could be however they want to be. But we're going to be happier.
If they are however they want to be, then suddenly you're being like, oh no, they're just trying to be special, instead of like, no, they're just trying to be themselves.
So do you not like individuality?
Yeah, but there's different ways to embrace your individuality, to become special, or you have to earn it. That's what I think as men, like, that's why we need to get better every single day, and we need to actually do something. There's too many ways nowadays to become individualistic. You can put on a dog collar, or you can like dye your hair.
You could get a tattoo.
You can get blue tattoos, blue hair.
So why did you get a tattoo?
I mean, this
special or what?
No, this is artistic. I like it. It has specific meanings. It's not to be special. I mean, actually, I was just talking on stream about
But if it was, would that be such a bad thing?
Yeah, that's like the most annoying thing when I sit down on a date and girls are like, "Oh my god, what do your tattoos mean?" I'm like, I don't care. Like, I like them. I don't.
So you got something permanently on your body and you gave no thought to it. You don't even give a.
I give a. I want to have this conversation for the 80th time. It's too like this is how people think that they're special just by their tattoos. I got them, but it doesn't. It doesn't make my whole personality.
Tattoo culture. You literally have tattoos in insanely visible areas of your body. If you want to get a personal tattoo, people do that, but they don't put that like on their face or their forehead.
My point is that I'm tired of having this conversation on every single date. It's because people like they talk about star signs, they talk about your tattoos, they talk about why they dyed their hair, and it's like I'd rather talk about anything else because this is what every single bot says on the first date. It's like
it's not a bot thing. It's an incredibly obvious call out. You care about something enough to put permanent ink on your body. Of course, I'm just going to ask you a question about it. They'd be retarded.
Yeah, it's just as basic as asking what your star sign is. You know, your birth. It is
different. Star sign has no basis in reality, and it's just a stupid way to maybe start a conversation. A tattoo is you've decided something is incredibly important and personal.
You just did something that they probably believe in. You guys don't believe in astrology?
No. Hold on. Nice pivot, by the way. But that's okay. If you're too scared to talk about it, that's fine.
About tattoos?
No, about how silly you're being. That somebody would ask you about a tattoo and you think it's a dumb question.
It's not a dumb question. It's repetitive, and I'm tired of that same conversation over and over again.
But if you're on a first date with someone, how the fuck are they supposed to know that
you're wear a long sleeve shirt. Huh? Wear a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, I do, but I'll take off the jacket, and then they see it. Oh my god, what do these mean? Let me feel them. What's the bumps? They all say the same things. What is that? That one's cool. It's repetitive when everybody says the same thing. They could be like, I like your tattoos, and move on. I don't need to have a conversation about them.
That's repetitive if every single time they just all say, oh, I like it, and they move on.
That's better because then it's less repetition
you don't give
of a
a fuck about it
conversation.
being repetitive. You just want people to.
Well, it's more of a, this is a dumb argument. It's more of a time investment when I spend 10 minutes talking about the tattoos.
So what do you hope to get on dates or whatever if you don't want to be like asked about your like tattoos or like
Pussy.
some of the most basic
Iron frame.
stuff
These
like
women
that?
are regurgitating ideas that have no clue where it came from or why they're even saying it. He's not special. Sneako is striving to be a traditional man, not a new male. Have her do 20 push-ups because she's already acting masculine with all those arguments. Imagine a world where men acted like girls. Sonny says women are being more emotional isn't a bad thing. It's also why they're better caregivers, comforters. In Clash of Clans, you're not sending healers to win a base. Good Clash of Clans reference. 20 from Redacted Ryan. It's not being fragile, it's a fact. Women and feminine men aren't going to work the farms and machinery or build buildings. Masculine men are necessary.
Are we currently farming? Like, did I miss that? Like, was there like a field outside? Oh, and like, is somebody like gonna come in this apartment and like start fighting us as well? Like, Sneako, are you gonna protect us if that happens?
If someone breaks in the apartment, yeah, I'm gonna have to protect
like
you.
how often does that happen to you?
I mean, I'm well known. It's likely that somebody will try to attack me at
So
some
you're
point.
well known, and it's more likely. So how many times does it happen?
Have people tried to attack me?
Broken into your apartment.
Broken into my apartment, but being attacked in general. If we're walking outside, say I'm walking you to my car and somebody
How
comes
many
up to
times
us.
have you been attacked outside?
Several times.
Really?
Yeah. I've been pressed. Like, you need to be able to have some physical presence, or else if you look too easy, if you look robbable, you're gonna get robbed. If you're not on point, you act like you've never been.
So,
What's funny about
that?
that?
Number?
There's no shot that you've been attacked multiple times.
That I've been attacked. I've had to get in fights in public before.
Okay, now we're at had to get in fights. What does that mean?
You've never had somebody come and press you on the
I
train
didn't ask
station or
you. I
outside.
didn't ask you about my
You've never had to shove somebody outside.
You made a claim that you've been attacked multiple times in public. I don't.
Yeah, I've gotten in fights outside of bars. I've been in fights in like pickup games.
Video. Remember, I like you because I've seen your content before. You recorded one video where you faked getting in a fight, and you thought it was funny that people believed it even happened to you. Do you remember that video?
Yeah. What's the point?
So why would you joke about it, being like it's so impossible that would happen? But now that you're like red pilled out, now you're saying you get.
The joke wasn't it was impossible that it would happen. The joke was it was funny how quickly social media started celebrating it.
No, the joke was because you also said that people assumed it was real immediately. I remember you saying this. You're like, yeah, people assumed to be like, blah, blah, but it was all a joke. And it was funny because, like, also...
What does that have to do with being attacked in public?
Because I don't think you have. I think you're lying.
I haven't. You don't think I've like had to get in a fight outside of a bar? You don't think that I've been pressed in public? You don't think that I've had to shove away people? You don't think I've had crackheads press me before in New York City?
Okay, crackheads pressing you who are crazy on the street is different than somebody like, that's Sneako, I'm gonna go beat the shit out of you.
I've had people like, not because I'm Sneako, but this happens in public when you're outside. And also when you're more high profile, it's way more likely to happen when people know who you are. Now when I'm gonna go to New York City to film a video next month, I need to have a bodyguard because I'm not gonna be able to protect myself. I don't have my head on a swivel like that. Am I gonna hire...
The guy who works for Andrew Tate, I think he's probably looking for work right now.
Are you gonna hire a female bodyguard or a male bodyguard?
Why can't you protect yourself? You're a man. That's your role.
Because
isn't it?
I am high pro. These are stupid arguments. I'm high profile. I just explained why.
You explained to me that the masculine man is supposed to protect, but you can't even protect yourself. That's kind of. It seems to me like you're failing at
Destiny,
your
you know that was a stupid argument, right? You know that she's not saying anything because right now, if somebody breaks in,
you should be adhering to your gender role and protect yourself.
Okay, and
Why
then
isn't he actually paying for more masculinity at that point? Isn't that kind of fucked?
Yeah, I need a bodyguard because I am well known and people will be able to come up to me.
So if you need a bodyguard, what does your own masculinity matter? If you're paying somebody, if you're like offshoring like the masculinity anyway.
Well, right now I don't. There's situations when you need one and situations when you don't. Why are you playing dumb to things that we all know? What are we talking about?
So
wait. The argument was I'm a man and I need to be a provider and I need to be able to fight in case somebody attacks me. But now you're saying if you go to a place where you might be attacked, you're going to pay another man to defend you. So then why do you need to be able to fight at all?
Okay, there's situations where there's more public interaction when I'm in a subway station or if I'm walking to a bar or walking you to the parking garage, I'm not going to have a bodyguard with me. There's situations where there's more people around and you need a bodyguard.
How high profile are you?
He's getting like hunted down on the CBS.
Like if you go outside, how many people are like going up to you asking for your autograph and like just clamoring to get to you to try to punch you in the face? Like, how well known are you?
I mean, every time I go outside, people will recognize me.
How many people? Give a number. If you go outside.
What's the point of this question?
Because I'm trying to figure out how like your visibility, how high profile you are. Because if I'm in the presence of like a famous celebrity, right?
Okay, what's the are we arguing about how famous I am, or like do you want to talk about blue pill?
Well, I just want to know how high profile you are. Like
see,
if we went
Chad,
out,
do you see that
like,
this argument is not really about anything blue pill, red
it's
pill?
not an argument, it's a question.
It's women who are getting triggered about somebody who's trying to advocate towards masculinity. So all the stuff you're saying, like, are you actually a masculine man? Are you actually famous? What do you mean you're masculinity?
So
That's not very bodyguard. You see the words they're saying? She's so cute. He's so cute. You're trying to just bring it down. This is not even an argument about like how much you trust the government.
Yeah,
or how
mock
much
me more, do the voice or whatever. That definitely demonstrates you're not super emotional right now and just triggered by some questions.
He's being very calm and logical, don't you see?
Yeah, see, we're not arguing anything right now. You just want to...
We're not. I just want to ask a question. Just want to know how high profile you are.
That's a pointless question.
You seemed really proud of it just a little bit ago.
Yeah, okay. It's not about being proud. It's just being realistic about my presence in the world and what I should be doing when I walk around. It's not to try to have an ego battle with you. Modern feminists are very egotistical about stuff like this. It's like, oh, you think you're stronger than me? You think you're more logical than me? You think you're more famous than me?
Said men are
it's not really.
So
I know because I am. No, because I am. But you don't need to get offended the fact that I'm stronger than you.
But I'm not offended.
No, I know, but you don't need to get
offended right now.
I mean, yeah, by what you're talking about, you're like, you think you're more famous than me? It's like this is a non-argument.
I never said I was famous. I never said I was famous.
But why? So why are you asking this question?
Because you said you were high profile, and I just want to know, like, just how famous you are.
I told you, like, every time I walk outside, I get recognized. So it's smart for me to have a bodyguard.
So why don't you have one already?
Because I mean, I haven't had any bad interactions so far. I've been
Maybe
okay.
You're not that high visible then.
Or how, I'm kind of confused because earlier you were talking about being attacked and stuff and like...
You said you were so high profile that if you didn't have a bodyguard, you were at risk for physically being assaulted.
When I'm making an interview video in the train stations of New York City, yes, I need a bodyguard.
Okay.
Because there's more people. Is this the argument you wanted to have?
No,
How many people?
No, the argument
what the f are you talking about, bro?
No, the argument I
Thank you. Remain stoic, Sneako. Also, we know every masculine man should be capable of violence. We all know this, but this is just like, Destiny is coping so hard. This woman's arguments are so pointless. Destiny's literally scrolling on Reddit. You don't go outside. That's why you don't know what Sneako's saying. So insulting someone on the stream is supposed to be blue pill? Yeah, you are these dumb, frumpy bitches here to get clout. Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, I don't know what this argument is about. It just seemed like they're trying to press me because they're
definitely not
triggered by my videos. There's a socialized effort in deliberate behavioral modification of a man's natural drive to better fit the female imperative. Yes.
Okay, I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you. Well, I was trying to point out.
Do you see these tactics, chat? You see, I don't want you to. You see how they're trying to make this like into a feminine thing. What do you want to actually argue about? This is pointless for real.
Well, I wanted to argue about gender, and that's why I brought up the whole masculinity thing.
What do you disagree with me on? If you want to argue about gender.
Well, we're talking about how men are more logical than women, but you really haven't been able to prove any of that to me. You just say it is without actually giving me a logical line of reasoning.
I told you that you bleed for a week every month, and that makes you more hormonal than men.
And I said that men go through like fluctuations in their hormones.
You brought up testosterone. You said roid rage. That's
so
not.
You made the observation that like women have menstrual cycles, and like that's supposed to do the heavy lifting for your argument. Like, what am I supposed to take away from that?
That you are emotional more than a man for once a week of every single month.
But that's not necessarily true, right? Like all you're saying is like, oh, the hormone fluctuations make you hormonal or make you like more emotional. But here I'm seeing like, hey, men also go through hormonal changes throughout the month. So how does that not make you more emotional than women? It just seems like there's no real line of reasoning. You're just saying hormonal changes. But yet when it comes to men, like suddenly we're going to ignore that. We're going to ignore that men also go through hormonal changes.
Your example was roid rage, not anything natural about being a man.
That was my example.
And even then a man, even if that does happen, a man and everybody watching this, we're supposed to be stoic and we're supposed to push that emotion to the side. Women aren't expected to have that same emotional maturity to be able to be rational in situations that are dangerous. Men, you're expected to be calm, level-headed, and be able to handle it. If you start acting emotional, then they call you childish. But a woman could start to freak out and cry, and then that's expected of her. We have different expectations.
So you've never cried before in your life?
No, I've never cried before.
No.
Do you think that's healthy?
Sure. I mean, it's better than crying all the time. You get more done.
Not all the time, but just like...
Do you think women cry all the time?
I think you cry quite a bit. I bet you cry 3 times a week.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
It's way more than that. I would put you at about like 10, 20 times, anywhere from there.
No, I'm actually crying every single moment. Like I'm crying right now. You just can't see it because it's like internal. Obviously, it's my hormones.
So if women are like particularly emotional on their periods, like what are some things that I can, like, can you tell when a woman's on her period?
Right now? Like right now?
No, I'm asking you if you can tell if like a woman's on her period.
Talking
I mean,
to
you
her
can
in
use us
general.
as examples if you need to.
I thought you were bleeding right now.
Really?
Yeah.
How come? What am I doing that's like super emotional that you just can't handle?
The passive aggressive cattiness and like the, I mean, are you like that? Are you this? Like that's kind of period. Like, oh really? Like, do you feel that way? Like that reminds me of period behavior.
So like ideally, like how would women behave? How would we behave that would not get like us any criticism from you?
No, it's not criticism. That's just how you are.
No, like direct us. Like how would you want us to behave so we can like embody like the ideal like feminine characteristics that a woman should
see
embody?
that's the problem. Being emotional and being hormonal and being catty and passive aggressive is your nature. It's just how you are. I'm not telling you to change.
That whole like, I'm not telling you to change. Like you don't think that's a bit passive aggressive yourself?
I'm genuine. This is how you are. And instead of trying to fight it and argue with me and talk about masculinity and femininity, just accept that you are more emotional. You are going to be catty and passive aggressive. That's the way it is.
I mean,
men are expected to be stoic and expected to not be emotional. If we are, then we get criticized, we get laughed at. And then even then, the tactics that you're doing, like, oh, is that how you feel? Like you're trying to be like, are you gay? It's the same thing. So we're not supposed to do that. Women, you can be that way and it's just expected. But men, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to bob and weave all of that. Thank you for the 5 scoop sesh. Yo, Sneako, there's a very normie conversation. Also, in a high stress situation, women will always freeze or flight instead of fight. The only times these are different is when there's a child involved. Yeah.
Are you a father?
No.
Do you want to be?
Of course.
Do you want to be married and stuff like that?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Like, by when do you want to be like married, have a kid and stuff like that?
I mean, I thought when I was 25, but I want to keep making more money and I want to be completely self-governing before I start thinking about having a family. Sneako, the men who end up with these women will have to negotiate genuine desire with them. No man of value is going to take them seriously. Only a faithful beta, says Iron Frame. Well, yeah, I mean, they want a guy who doesn't embrace their masculinity. They want somebody with a fluid idea of gender, somebody who's like, gender doesn't matter. You're not supposed to embrace that. And it is what it is. Thank you for the 5. Destiny, you don't know anything. First off, Romanian laws are different compared to US. You can Google it like a big boy. They're allowed to hold you as long as they want during investigation.
Really? They're allowed to hold you as long as they want?
Google
you
it.
Just being indefinite. I don't need to Google it. That's retarded. You can't be indefinitely detained in a first world country prison for as long as they want. There's going to be rules and regulations related to it.
How much time do you spend talking about Andrew Tate on your stream?
Recently, since we've been locked up, I talk about him probably like 20 minutes every stream every day.
How long do you stream? Like every
5 hours a day.
Just 20 minutes, are you sure?
Yeah, around like 20 minutes recently. The Bible says in the end times there will be new world order and the government will push the mark of the beast. Do you believe in that? Or they don't believe in God.
I didn't say that.
You said you're agnostic, so.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Do you know what agnosticism is?
Yes, I'm aware.
What is it? Because I don't know what it is, so could you explain it to me?
Okay, these questions are annoying me. Agnostic is maybe. Like, you're trying to do the thing. It's just, can we argue about something instead of...
That's not what agnosticism is. It's just the acknowledgement that there may or may not be God.
It's the maybe. We know what that means. It's like, you're like, are you dumb? Like, this is...
I don't think you're dumb.
Okay. So what if you don't think I'm dumb and you think Destiny failed at bluepilling me, what did you want to talk about? You haven't really brought up anything that's reconsidered. Well, if he failed at bluepilling me, you guys are doing a worse job, bro. You're making me want to do those 20 push-ups that you, Matt, talked about earlier. You're making me want to go eat a steak and smoke a cigar and do toxic masculinity shit. I want to go shoot a gun in the field. This shit sucks. I hate this. Like, bro, this conversation is like, I don't like being, it's good for stream, but like I would never be around this like freely. I wouldn't spend time with women like this. I wouldn't want to go on a date like this. I would not spend time with you if I wasn't making content out of this. So you wanted to blue pill me. What do you have to say besides these questions?
I wanted to have a conversation about gender and you keep just saying it's just how it is.
So what conversation do you want to have?
Because I keep trying to ask you like questions about like women being emotional, like where's your line of logic? And your line of logic is none. It's literally, this is just how it is. Women are just more emotional. That's just how it be. And it doesn't really, you're not really explaining anything other than, I think this is how it is, so it must be that way. And to me, that seems illogical.
Okay. Thanks for the 5. Since Destiny is attempting to trap you to ask him why he manipulated Anna for sex, where's the study that justifies that? I don't know what he's talking about.
W, Anna's in the chat. W, Anna's in the chat, guys.
You get falsely accused of some shit?
What? No, it's not complicated reveal.
Young Kel says, ask them what they would change if they were president. That's a good question. What would you change if you were president?
If I was president?
President.
I'd probably focus on universal health care. Well, obviously you can't just do this being the president, right? Like not alone. But assuming that the question is asking I had a bunch of political power and I could actually sway the courts and like the legislative branch to do what I want, then I'd probably focus on universal health care, restructuring our justice system, and free universal college.
Okay. Bunch of free shit, handouts.
It's not really handouts. We're already paying with most of this stuff with our taxes. Right. I just want our taxes to be used.
If you were president, what would you change? What would be like your first priority?
My first priority if I was president?
Yeah.
I would try actively to make God more present in the country. I'm not sure what policy that would be, but I would attach all my policies to.
So you want to live in like a theocracy?
I think a country's better run like that. I don't know if I want to live in a theocracy forever, and I do believe in some separation of church and state, but I think we need to have some God back in the West because things are becoming.
Then you don't really believe in separation of church and state.
You don't believe?
No, we should separate church and state, but my policies would be traced to the Bible. I wouldn't enforce anybody to believe in anything they don't want to believe in, but I would try to leave my policies based on what God would want me to do. I think we need more God in the country. Nomad says, being masculine doesn't mean you never need help. Is it not logical to take steps to mitigate risk, your ability to protect us, blah, 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 these arguments really don't.
It's already 2v1. But you realize that like if you had asked her a question, she was like, I want to make people happy, you would have roasted the f*** out of her for not giving a specific answer. But she rattled off like 3 policies. And then when you were asked the same question, like, I want
okay, you want actual policies? That was my general idea. So actual policies, here we go.
If you're president, how do you make
You want me to be specific?
Yeah.
Okay, I would ban porn. Number 1, that'd be my first thing is banning porn.
Jesus, all right.
I would.
So you violate the First Amendment.
Wait,
okay.
No, porn is not free speech. Porn is not speech.
Whatever.
You don't think pornography like falls under freedom of expression?
No, absolutely not.
You think the government should arrest people just for filming people for having sex and putting it online?
Yes, I think it should not be allowed. You should be fined, maybe not arrested, but you should be seriously fined, and we should actively. Yeah, I would also ban TikTok.
Jesus.
And I would stop. Instagram is okay.
What about girls that post pictures, thirst traps? Come on.
Well, now they're allowing, you could post your nipples on Instagram if you're they, them. If you're non-binary, if you're one of you, if you're a she, they, you could post your nips because you don't. And I would get rid of that policy. And also I would stop funding Ukraine. That'd be my third policy. Thank you, Jeremy, because we have nothing to do with that. So America needs to stop getting involved. We need to put America first. Thank you, 20 Jeremy. Sneako, these 2 whores are more proof the West is done. Join us in the UAE. Our women are feminine, God-fearing, and most important, loving mothers. That's why I want to get enough money. The Dusko says, ask them to define masculinity and femininity and give them examples. Everything they name will have overlaps. The point of masculinity and femininity is not that there are no overlaps, but inclinations. Yeah, what's your she, they? What's your definitions of masculinity and femininity?
Every time somebody tries to make me define that, I end up falling apart because I can't really define it. That's why I'm she, they. Because I think like these hardcore distinctions are really arbitrary most of the time. Like, that's why I think it's like useless. If I think a woman can be strong and protectful, I don't understand why I have to box that into the masculinity box. Just like let people do what makes them happy.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think to delineate between like masculine and feminine. Like I could name a bunch of like human characteristics that I think are positive for like everybody to embody that would transcend gender, but like I'm not really interested in like trying to make prescriptions or like even describe the way and like stereotype people based off of their gender.
You think you'd be a good mother?
Yeah, I think so. But I'm not interested in being a mom.
You don't want to be a mom?
No.
Why?
Because I don't want children.
Allahu Akbar! Why don't you want to have children?
I mean, like I've never been given like a compelling reason to have children. I just am more interested in like focusing on my career. I can't really structure my life around a child. Children require like a lot of care. I love other people's children. I'm very fond of kids. I babysit kids. But I would be more happy as like an aunt or something like that. I don't want to be solely responsible for like a child myself or with a partner or anything like that.
Are you okay dying alone?
Sure.
You mean like
Allahu Akbar! No, he died with a bad Spanish bitch right next to him. He died with a baddie right next to him.
Single.
I don't think he was single. He was with that Spanish girl. Redacted Ryan says,
single.
I would reform the education system that way we don't end up with more women like these 2 and men like Destiny. 20. Makola Scream says, why didn't you read my other dono about you thinking you're special because you're outside of the matrix? You just want to feel smarter than others.
Damn.
No, actually, I don't really think I'm smarter than others. I think I'm like average intelligence, but I just don't think that I'm brainwashed by a lot of the media and a lot of what we are fed. I don't think I'm...
Did you used to be brainwashed?
Yeah, of course. I grew up like in a liberal environment, and part of the reason why like I yell about this and I'm passionate about this and why it's the whole philosophy of my... No, it's the whole philosophy of my stream. You see what you're trying to do? Look, why do you want to make me feminine?
What? I mean, what's wrong with being feminine?
Because I'm a man. I don't want to be I clearly don't want to be feminine. So
then
why would you...
acting like it.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I acting like it?
You said that you yell and you're passionate about this stuff on stream, and I'm saying
entertainment?
That's pretty emotional, yeah.
Entertainment? Okay.
Entertainment can be emotional, sure.
Right. Sure. So on a stream, entertaining and emotional. But the reason that I talk about this all the time is because I grew up in that environment, and I was fed a lot of lies from birth. Like they told me I had ADHD. A lot of people around me thought they were pansexual and she, theys and they, thems. A lot of people around me believed in Biden, or they just vote completely Democrat without even knowing who the people were.
Supporting Ukraine, big one. Yeah, they just believe in... Probably got like 15 vaxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even though they're getting myocarditis, and I guarantee both of you are vaccinated. Probably boosted up too, just based off everything you believe in. You don't want to have kids, but you want to get a booster shot. It's just like that type of brainwashing is everything.
Where's
that
the contradiction there?
Against. You're not vaccinated?
No.
You
like,
are. You're definitely vaccinated.
What does me like not wanting to have kids have to do with my vaccination status?
Because people like you, the girl boss queens who don't want to have children, who don't believe in masculinity and femininity, it's because they are all brainwashed to believe this. Like I knew you were boosted before you said that because of everything else you believe in. Because
it's easy to say the same about you. Like based on like 3 sentences, you can guess like almost every single political position you have. That you think the Holocaust numbers are suspect, you wouldn't support the war in Ukraine, you probably don't support any foreign intervention at all, you probably want to abolish the Fed, you probably think cryptocurrency is the future, you probably think Donald Trump would be a better president than Biden, you probably will never get another vaccine in your life, you probably think Big Pharma is out to get you. Like I could probably rattle off like 50 things you believe based on like 2 sentences you have.
The difference is all those things are true.
You know that's what everybody... You're laughing, come on, you know that's what everybody...
Thank you for the 10-out frame. Here's a question that maybe will make these ladies think. Why do you think women are the unhappiest they've ever been on record? I can answer the question. Women are all on antidepressants and stuff like that because they're not having children. Because having family around us, having family values, believing in God, that's what makes us happy. A family is necessary for us to be happy.
So
like
what
having
do you
children
say to women who are like infertile?
Wait, so are you not happy right now because you don't have a family?
I'm not completely fulfilled until I have a family. But I haven't determined. I'm saying I want to. I'm working towards becoming the best father I can be. Obviously, you're saying that I get emotional on stream. I'm working on that. I'm working every single day to be the best person I could possibly be. Girls like you're my age, you've already given up. You said, I don't want to have kids. I'd rather not even... I like babysitting. Well, she said that, the black lipstick.
Yeah.
But, like,
so, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like this, because what makes us happiest is having children, is having a family. And so this is why antidepressants are on the rise right now. And I would, there's a likelihood that you're on it. Say What's Real says you should have asked if she wants to be a thoughter or a thad. I don't know what that means.
How old is Andrew Tate?
He's 36.
Does he have kids?
He does.
Really?
It's not terrible.
Is it true?
He does have kids. Is
he a good father to them? From jail?
That's funny that a guy's locked up and can't be around his kids. That's a thing to laugh about.
It is. I'm so sorry to Andrew Tate. My apologies, Andrew. I would never joke about something like that. It is very serious. That's why it was one of your policies that you want to do police prison reform, right? So if you think that like having children is like an integral part of like being a woman, what do you say to like infertile women?
The exception is not the rule. I mean, maybe they should adopt. But
I'm not saying it's rule, but I'm saying to the edge cases, like, what do you say to those women? Do you think their lives are unfulfilling?
They are going to be less fulfilled, yeah. Yeah. Maybe
Even
they should,
if they adopt?
If they adopt, they, of course, it'll be better, but it's better to have your own children. So, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like, what would you say to crippled people? Like, I don't know, sorry you can't walk. It sucks. The exception is not the rule. It's dumb to bring that up as an argument. I thought you were a good debater. This is like mid stuff you're bringing up. Correct. The answer is they've been lied to that a career in being submission to a boss will be more fulfilling than being a loving and nurturing mother. Yeah, a lot of the characteristics of what the modern woman talks about, the Western woman, is being a girl boss, being a CEO, doing all the things that men want to be. And that's why they actively hate people who are advocating towards masculinity, because modern feminism has told these women that they need to become men. It's not about equality. It's about the jealousy of male power, because you think that to be happy, you have to be like as smart, as logical, as strong as a man, but that's not okay. We need to have a balance. And part of the reason is because we have more betas, we have more sword boys, we have more like these type of men. And so guys are confused, but the balance is there. I'm not saying that men are more important than a woman. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think that we're equally important. We just have our specific roles and we need to play them. Women like you need to stop trying to be men.
I think it's interesting whenever people say things like this, because whenever I ask them why they think that way, there's no underlying logic. It always
because women are unhappier than they've ever been. Antidepressants are skyrocketing.
The same thing with men.
Of course, I am saying about that. That's why we're unhappy. I'm not saying that men are better than women. It's not. It's an argument for about the future of humanity.
I understand what you're saying, but what I think is probably more likely is that people for a very long time have been unhappy, and it's only recently that we've actually started to talk about it as a society instead of like drowning in alcoholism or drowning in like Xanax, basically. Like, do you think 50s housewives were happy? Like, they were like high off their fucking minds. Like, this is not new behavior. The only thing that is new now is that we actually are taking psychology seriously instead of just telling people like to shut up about it. Like, this is just life. We actually think, hey, we can change it. Like, we shouldn't just pretend that this is all okay.
You're in therapy, right?
About it now. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not on antidepressants though, so I think it's interesting to assume.
Yeah, I didn't say you're on antidepressants. I think you are.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Why?
Everything you're talking about, I would put a guess. But yeah, I can hear therapy. You're probably both in therapy.
No, I've never been in therapy.
Why are they so pessimistic?
Wrong with therapy?
No, it's predictable.
And I'm not on antidepressants either.
Yeah. Why are they so pessimistic? Goth chick, what is the reason that you exist? Why do you wake up in the morning? Yeah, there's so many questions coming in. Destiny's whole ideology is rationalizing the system, no original opinions, only to gaslight outside thinkers, says Groyper.
I feel like you're the pessimistic one because you have this very rigid idea.
No, I'm extremely optimistic.
To, like, live your life.
I'm extremely optimistic. I love life. And I think having a family I encourage everybody watching the stream to have a lot of children. And I want to have the best life possible. And I hope that everybody here.
You think men sitting in front of their computer watching your live stream is like helping contribute to them becoming like advancing their goals of like.
Well, usually when you guys aren't in here, we have a very energetic stream where we laugh a lot. We're doing push-ups. We're yelling at each other. We're cracking jokes. And I stream at night. I don't stream every single day. I tell people not to be chronically online. I tell them to go outside. And also I don't play video games and stuff like that. I'm just here talking to my chat because I like that a lot of them watch it in the gym. I encourage people to go and live life. I don't want them to be chronically online playing video games for 12 hours a day. I don't think that makes them happy.
He's calling you out, Stephen.
No, I am a little bit. Like, I don't think men are supposed to be like playing video games 12 hours a day. I just don't. They should go accomplish and they should go beat the game of life.
How do you explain why he plays so many video games when he's married?
I mean, his marriage is different than most. And I wanted to bring up this example because someone in the chat asked you, like, why do you get up every day? What's the meaning of life? I tweeted something, and I don't remember, but Destiny's wife replied to the tweet. She said, I don't know. I think I said something about God, and she said, my life stands for sex, drugs, and travel. And then I asked him, like, can I reply haram? Because it was really surprising to me. That's not what I mean, I'm not going to try to be disrespectful, but I don't want my wife to think that her life stands for sex, drugs, and travel. I would like my wife to think that she stands for nurturing the children that we have together, or having a good home, or like having just living life. That's the opposite of how I want my family to run. You know, we have different life philosophies. That's why I like having them on, because we can disagree. But yeah,
so you can agree that other people have different things that make them happy.
Of course. But I think that ideology, the blue pill ideology, makes people more unhappy because people on your side, they end up on antidepressants more often. They end up in therapy. They are constantly talking and classifying themselves and trying to become special in different ways. They're always trying to, because they don't believe that they think you think that.
Are you on the left? No, right?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, but I feel like what you're describing is like you want men to conform to this, which is that rigid expectation of masculinity, which is a very like collectivist idea, which is kind of like falling into like left-wing politics. That's why I'm kind of surprised. Like usually the right, I would have thought, purportedly and like nominally supports. Like,
I wouldn't say I'm on the right either. I don't classify myself on left or right, or like I don't like to box myself in on politics because I don't even believe in the two-party system. Like I believe in life. I believe in God. I think we should follow that. And just more often, the people on the right tend to believe in God. But yeah, the reason I say this is because I think I was on ADHD medications for a long time. It made me sad. I see a lot of people in therapy, a lot of people close to my life, and they're nonstop going. I have friends from high school who are still in therapy, and it's like, do you ever expect to get out? And they don't. And people on this side, I'm trying to advocate towards a life. I think that if men constantly try to improve and constantly pursue towards something greater, and they believe in something greater like God, they will have a more fulfilling life. If they aim towards having a family, that's where they're going to find happiness. People on the left, they tend to think that happiness is something that that they have or don't have. So they need antidepressants, or like, I'm depressed today, and then they go to therapy. It's like,
why do you think therapy is bad?
I don't think it's bad. I think a lot of people do need it. Of course, people who have PTSD, people who went to war, but there's too many people in your generation, in our generation, that constantly go there. And I think they like talking, they like to overanalyze. Our generation lives too much in their own head, analyzing their own thoughts and thinking that they need to classify themselves. It's too introspective, and like when you're like that neurotic, it doesn't make you happy.
Have you thought that therapy might actually help break you out from that? Because like when I go to therapy, basically, you're right, I do overanalyze a lot. And then my therapist is basically like, Pxie, snap out of it. Like, let's bring you back to reality. Like, think about this in this way. And it helps me having that other opinion out there. So it's interesting to me that you think therapy is an extension of that, when it seems like therapy for a lot of people is breaking away from that overanalysis and having a more third-party objective opinion telling you like, hey, look at it from this different perspective. Have you gone to therapy before?
I did once in college, and it was a waste of time. She was hot, and I was just trying to like, I was just spitting game, and I was sitting there like saying my problems. And this is back like when I was in the Matrix and I was like believing in liberal ideology. I was talking, and I'm like, this shit is not even that big of a deal. I'm like, I don't even know why I'm here. So I was started to like embellish the story, and I'm like, this is a waste of time. She's hot. She has big tits. I don't even like this.
So
This
do
is a
you
waste
think
of
it's
time.
healthy for you that when you were put in a position of like emotional vulnerability, that you had to deflect by trying to like escalate a situation?
I didn't
to, like,
even
a
feel
sexual
vulnerable.
situation?
I didn't even feel vulnerable because I was saying it. I'm like, oh, this, I could just.
Well, if you're in like an intimate setting, one-on-one with a therapist, and you're being asked questions about like your feelings, your thoughts, about like your life circumstances.
I feel more vulnerable, and I feel more open and honest when I'm streaming. When I'm talking to the chat, when I'm expressing myself, when I'm cracking jokes, when I'm reflecting, like this is when I'm more myself and I'm more honest. Like when I'm here talking to people, that's the way that I express myself.
So
when I'm there one-on-one.
Therapy closed off.
I didn't close. I told her shit, but I was saying this shit doesn't matter. I need to get out of here.
What stuff did you tell
Wait,
her?
why did you go to therapy in the first place then?
Some girl, like, I was just obsessed over this one girl, and like I wanted a relationship with her, and she just wanted to and it was like me up, and I'm just like, and it was stupid. Like I didn't need to go to therapy over that. I could have just been like, okay, she doesn't want a relationship, bye. It's easy to solve. Most male problems, they're very easy to solve. Like we don't need to, I didn't need it to have a therapist tell me, don't pursue that relationship. I knew it, but I was just too weak at the time to go and confirm that for myself. W Sneako, the blonde is a she, they, but who is they though? I don't know. W Destiny, he's going to be pegged tonight by two they, thems. W Masculinity, free top G. Okay, bro. Sneako, please stop wasting your time with these girls. They are approaching everything from a blank slate. Men and women are different. Ladies, get used to it. We process emotions differently, but here's the thing. The left, they want to destroy the idea of gender at all. They think that gender is ironic. They don't think that there is a difference, even though we're born different.
I never said there is.
I never said there was no difference between.
Well, you said you couldn't even classify masculinity and femininity, and you said that gender is ironic and you don't even know how to define it.
Well, it's because we're looking at it from sex and gender being different. I think that's the biggest problem, because I do agree that there is difference between biological males and biological women. I just think that a lot of these things that we describe as masculinity are traits that are really just like for people in general. So like being a protector, I think, is for people in general.
Yeah, I disagree. I think that feminism has brainwashed a lot of women to think that they need to play the male role when they're going to be their happiest.
Why is that the male role though? Like why you're saying?
Because it's traditionally always been that way, and men are stronger, so we should play that role of protecting and providing. We are more capable mentally. We don't get pregnant for 9 months, and we're not the nurturers. So it just falls into that category based on biology, and it's worked for centuries, and I think we should stick to that. And I think there's more unhappiness now because that reason that we're trying to separate the ideas of gender.
I think it's interesting when you say that, because I think like, do you know Sparta? Like, do you know the history of Sparta?
No, enlighten me.
Okay, you know that they were a warrior culture?
Yeah.
Do you know that politically they were run by women?
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So I think it's interesting when you say like men are more mentally capable, yet we have this society that was like really great or really strong or whatever that was run by women. Okay,
that's one example, but most societies, most successful societies have always been patriarchies.
Well, let's look at like the most recent societies in Europe, for example. Like Angela Merkel like ran the EU basically, head chancellor of Germany for like how many years?
Why is everybody in the chat saying that's cap about Sparta?
I mean, you can Google it if you don't believe me. Interestingly enough, Aristotle blamed the fall on Sparta being run by women. He also advocated for slavery, but that's a different argument.
Stop using their language. First step to ending all this bullshit. What did I say? The she, they? I don't know what I use their language. Sneako, kick the bots out of your house. Destiny's always on his phone looking like a these two women make no sense, giving no arguments, and they're being disrespectful. They got better. To embrace your masculinity and femininity means to embrace your natural inclinations as a man, woman. This doesn't mean there are no overlaps. Men have a greater inclination to protect and providing. I think we should embrace that more. Ask them where Sparta is now. Yeah, it dissolved. But so did a lot of societies from then. So, I mean, I don't know how valid that is.
Can you tell me what a bot is?
You guys, NPCs.
Okay, but like what?
Vaccinated, Biden, therapy, antidepressants, she, they, BLM, Ukraine flag in bio.
And when people say the opposite about you, like they say you're a bot because you have all the opposite beliefs, how do you respond? You're just like, I'm not a bot? Or
Sure, that doesn't offend me. I mean, like, people on your side get really offended when I say bots. It's like something that sticks in your head. But if you guys call me a bot,
I literally just like don't know what it is.
Asking.
Like I don't know what like bots are.
Bot
like,
is somebody who blindly believes in what the government and what the programming is telling you. If you were chronically on TikTok, I had this the other day. I had Pearl come on, and Pearl brought her sister, and she showed me her screen time. Her screen time was like 5 hours a day on TikTok. And so then you kind of get an idea of everything she believes in. She's going to believe in all the liberal programming. And so I showed her Libs of TikTok, the Twitter page where they show drag queens and they show how LGBT is shown in all these classrooms and stuff like that. And I showed her a video of a drag queen twerking on a child. And the child gets a $5 bill on the drag queen twerking in front of his face. And she's like, twerking isn't sexual. It doesn't have to be sexualized. That is bot programming. To think that shaking an ass and that's okay because it's just a performance. It's just a dance. That, when I see that, I'm seeing like, this is the fall of the West. This is how society is crumbling in real time. We're seeing kids being brainwashed into thinking that this is okay, this is empowering, this is a good thing, and it's destroying the minds of a lot of kids. Like they should be in a sandbox, they should be like in a classroom, they should be having fun, they should be playing with toys, not sex toys, they'd be playing with Legos and shit. But this is the indoctrination that's going on. And so when I see that, and when I see this girl come on who's on TikTok chronically, who's depressed, who's in therapy, who's boosted, vaccinated, who believes Biden is good, and she says that this is not a bad thing, that twerking isn't sexual, this is okay, that's a straight up NPC, because this is terrible. And this should be, like, back in the day, like, they would stone you to death for doing that shit. And we just allow it now. And I think that's the next step of the LGBT
Do you think
movement.
women should be stoned for using TikTok?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I think it should be banned. But I'm just saying, like, this is why, like, if I was president, this goes back, like, my first thing would try to bring God back in some sense, was why I'd ban porn, why I'd ban TikTok, and why I would try to stop getting in foreign affairs like Ukraine, because we need to focus on our own country, because everything is collapsing. Like New York City, full of degeneracy, San Francisco, LA, full of degeneracy. It's disgusting.
Do you not think that global issues affect the United States at all?
Of course they do, but we don't really help. We just keep bombing these countries nonstop, and it's not really to go and help out the country. It's to constantly stay at war so we can generate a lot of revenue. If the arms industry, if we're always at war, then the arms industry makes a lot of money. It's great. The man fought the war, though, idiot, Zakucha. They're talking about Sparta again. Ask them to name one matriarchal society that successfully stood the test of time and or revolutionized something in the world that was positive and is still being used to this day.
What was the question?
Ask them to name one matriarchal society that successfully stood the test of time and or revolutionized something in the world that was positive and is still being used until this day.
A matriarchal society that has revolutionized the world and is still being used today. I would argue that certain Native American tribes some were matriarchal societies, had agricultural practices that are still popularly used.
But I'm guessing you're going to say like that's an exception, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the exception doesn't make the rule. I mean, most societies are patriarchal, so I think we should follow that. Our perception of the world is heavily that's like the same argument. Like, what about girls that are infertile? Like, okay, sorry. It's like, what about stairs? Should we get rid of stairs because there's cripples? Or should we just accept the fact most people have legs? Thank you for the 5. Our perception of the world is heavily influenced by our biological gender differences. This inadvertently influences our psychology, which is why there are different inclinations. A bot, thank you, Jeffrey. A bot is a human being completely brainwashed by the system and resulting culture. The 3 of you are in a mental prison that you aren't even aware of. That makes you a bot. Destiny, I'm curious about this. Recently, you got on stream and you were saying how it's not fun to hang around progressives and conservatives more fun because they can go to the shooting range, and liberals are on antidepressants and they get triggered by everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think based on the types of hobbies that I have, conservative people are usually more fun to hang out with. But it also depends on the environments too. Like 99% of the shit that the red pill people teach is like what sends men to therapy. Like if you wanted to become a healthy person and you were a guy and you're like entering your mid to late 20s where you have to like grow up and be an adult, you have to spend like years unraveling all of the insanely toxic shit that you get taught in red pill communities. That would be like step 1.
Is there anything else you wanted to blue pill me about?
I just am wondering, I wish you could talk more about like the reasons other than I just think it is this way. Like, that's what I'm interested in about.
I'm interested, like, do you think that red pill people are kind of like the antithesis to like simps?
Yeah, I think simping makes men extremely unhappy. I tell my streams to not watch porn, to not watch OnlyFans, to stop simping. I get some of the people, I get some simps in my chat. I tell them it doesn't make them happy. Men don't naturally want to be simps. It's not in our blood.
Then how do you explain why there are so many simps?
Because of the brainwashing, because of programming, because of stuff like Twitch. Twitch, they have, I'm banned on Twitch. Nobody knows why. Nobody will explain it to me. But you know what they promote? You know, never get banned. People like Amaranth sitting in a hot tub, just sitting there half naked. Pokemon gets all these viewers, and everybody who watches them chronically, they imagine that they're their girlfriend, and they're never going to get any reaction for them. OnlyFans, the rise of porn, this turns men into
why
simps.
Should Pokemon be banned?
Pokemon shouldn't be banned, but I'm saying Twitch promotes simp culture because girls will just sit in a hot tub and take donations while guys will give away all their money and get sadder and sadder for a chip dopamine hit. The fact that we have monetized sex so much gives people the opportunity to get a quick dopamine hit instead of searching for actual love and a meaningful relationship, which is what really makes us happy. Tipping a girl $5 on a hot tub stream and she says, thanks, makes them happy for 3 seconds, and then they get sad because they're alone and they're jerking off on their fucking computer screen.
Isn't that kind of all parasocial relationships? Sure, they don't like jerk off, but they're still getting that quick dopamine hit of feeling like they're connected to the streamer.
Well, I tell my chat, I make fun of, there was a guy in here who donated yesterday and today, said he wanted to move in with me. I start making fun of him a lot. I want my stream to be somewhat educational, to be funny, to be energizing. I want people to leave this and feel better. The objective of a simp stream, a hot tub stream, they're not going to feel better afterwards. They're going to feel worse. They're going to feel drained. Their wallet's going to be emptier. I want people to leave this and be like, fuck yeah. I want to get in the gym. I'll be doing push-ups in here every single day. I'll be talking about news. I'm trying to make people laugh. I want them to feel something. I want them to learn something. I want them to walk away thinking, yes, there's still some hope. I always say, like, tell people,
when you
I
solicit
pray on
donations,
here.
how is that like?
Well, they're trying to contribute to the conversation. They're trying to add to the conversation. When you're on a Twitch stream with a hot tub, you're not trying to add to the convo. She says, thanks, tee ooh, and that's it.
Out of curiosity, do you feel the same way when it comes to gambling streams?
I think gambling is bad. I mean, of course, there's a lot of bad things. I don't promote gambling. I mean, I've been tempted to. I've had like big offers, like $30,000, $40,000 to promote gambling, but I decide not to because I want this to be something positive. You know, there's a lot of garbage, and I think that's part of the reason that I'm banned. I think that every single social media platform, they want you to be mindlessly addicted. They want you to be droning all single day. And I was banned. They're trying to call me a violent misogynist now on YouTube. I was banned because of COVID misinformation, election misinformation, and cyberbullying for making fun of girls' eyelashes. It wasn't because I'm a violent misogynist. They just wanted me out of here. But this is why Rome was taking over this year. It's like, this is actually energizing. And like, type of one in the chat if this makes you energized, because that's my goal. If I don't get any ones that I failed, but I want, like, and now I see it on my Instagram story every single day. I post a picture in the gym. People tag me in their stories. I've been reposting them. They're lifting weights. We go back and forth. I joke at them. We have like a relationship that's, I guess it's parasocial, but at the same time, when I'm feeling low or like I'm sitting in bed scrolling, doing bot shit, I see people in the gym posting their stories and I'm like, fuck yeah, and I get up. A lot of you guys have really motivated me too. And look at all the ones. Everybody in here gets energized. If they ask Amaranth, if they ask a Twitch streamer, do you guys get energized from here? They might lie, but deep down they know, bro, this doesn't make you happy. Porn makes you sad.
Do you feel like train wrecks should get banned?
For gambling?
Yeah.
Gambling is a little easier to handle than porn, but I don't think gambling is good. I don't think gambling is good.
I think
so do you think it's more harmful for like?
I think porn is more harmful.
To, like,
porn is more harmful.
I understand where you're coming from, but it seems to me that there's a disconnect because gambling is literally designed to make you addicted. While porn, we have like these natural inclinations. You can still get addicted. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you cannot get addicted to porn. You can still get addicted to porn, but we have more of natural inclinations to stop that than literally gambling, where it is designed to bypass like all those breaks that we have to keep you addicted. So it seems to me that if you want to ban porn, you should also want to ban gambling, because gambling is actually
that's a fair point.
Purposely trying to.
That's a fair point. I don't think, but I think porn is worse. And I see how porn is destroying men more than, of course, gambling. A lot of people get addicted, but porn has destroyed men a lot more than gambling from what I've seen. So that's why
you would like, if you had it your way and you were in charge of Twitch, you would ban like gambling streams and you would ban like all hot tub streamers.
No, because then Twitch would fail. If I was a CEO of Twitch, of course I would want that. I would want them to do all the degenerate shit that they do, because it makes a lot of money. But
do But I thought you had.
If I was president, I would not allow that. But if I was the CEO of a company, of course, that's going to make me the most money.
So you'd put profits over your values if you were the CEO, but not president.
My friends call me. Well, yeah, this is a hypothetical. I mean, I wouldn't ever be CEO of Twitch. I'm just like putting myself in a hypothetical scenario. Like idealistically, no, I wouldn't do that. I would try to make Twitch better, but then Twitch would fail. So the same thing, Tumblr banned porn and it failed. Porn was the reason it did well.
Interesting. I guess I just brought up the like simp thing because I see a lot of red pill and like red pill pickup artistry adjacent communities as kind of like two sides of the same coin as like simps, because I feel like a lot of the red pill communities, even though you're railing against women, just like simps, you're structuring your entire life around women. Like all that you think about is like ways to live your life in which like a woman is at the center of it.
No, I'm not.
I feel like a lot of masculinity is focused on just not being a woman, basically.
That's what you hear, but no, I think masculinity is becoming strong, is becoming smarter, is just becoming better. Like,
I mean, you literally constructed this binary between like masculine and feminine.
But that doesn't mean that, yeah, I know, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's all around getting a girl. Just because there's differences, that doesn't mean
I didn't say getting a girl, I just said around women. Or it could be around like mothers, sisters,
around
girlfriends,
being
daughters.
not like women.
Like,
Elstream. About not being a woman.
About being, yeah. Like
it's not, no, it's not about not being a woman. It's about being the best man that you could possibly be. And the best man that you could be is a guy who's in shape, is a guy who protects, is a guy who has a good family around him, is a guy who provides, is a guy who's smart, a guy who makes a lot of money. That is the best man.
But it's all in the service of like eventually getting a wife, right?
That's not the only, that's part of it. That's not the only reason.
But a man who does all of those things and doesn't manage to get a wife, do you think that he's succeeded?
No, he's failed. Because you need a family is what makes us happiest.
So I feel like it does keep coming back to this. Like
that's part of it, but that's not the sole reason.
Like
it's the red pill. See, a lot of people on your side, they think that the red pill is all about getting a girl. I actually think that a lot of it is learning about female nature and learning about female delusion, learning why feminism is a lie. But it's not just about getting hoes. I guess that's fun and that's dopamine chasing. And it can make people feel fulfilled in the meantime. But what ultimately makes us fulfilled is having a family, having a big family, making a lot of money, providing and becoming important, becoming stronger, and just becoming the best person possible.
So do you think it's a problem that like, I think a recent study found that like, what is the average age of a man who's like losing his virginity now?
Like 21, I think.
That's the average age?
Right now. Like
maybe median, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good thing?
I have a lot of religious people and they think that they should stay virgins until marriage. I personally think that with how much sex is monetized, guys are going to be less autistic and schizo if they lose their virginity younger. I lost mine like I was 16. I was just turned 17, and I saw guys that lost it later, and like the comparison to other people and the pressure. I think it's better to have a little bit of sexual experience. A lot of people disagree with that, but yeah, guys become really autistic now if they don't have sex, because of how sexualized everything is with the media. So
do you think women should like wait until marriage to have sex?
Ideally, but most won't.
I just wonder, like, how do you square that? Like, if you feel like it is healthy for men to engage in some form of like premarital sex.
I understand the way it is, and I understand the way it is in the West. Ideally, like you're right, we would be virgins until we get married, but that just doesn't happen. That's not realistic to expect in the Western world. So,
do you think the marriage contract is like the most important thing in like an interpersonal relationship?
No, because I think marriage destroys a man in the West. Alimony payments and child support, divorce fees.
Wait, so you don't want men to get married?
I want to get married religiously. I want to get married within the church. I don't want the government to be involved in my love. I think that's stupid. I think it's a dumb decision to get contractually married with the government.
I feel like when you were saying, oh, if you were president, you would try to like adhere to these religious rules, right? But now
that's what I'm saying. I would get married within the church.
Yeah, no, but you're saying the government shouldn't be actually like adhering to those rules. Then I feel like there's a contradiction there. If you think like, oh no, like we should try to bring God into, you know, our country more, into our government more, but you're saying the government shouldn't get involved in marriage, which I assume you believe is religious in nature. It seems like you don't really want religion involved.
Okay, so then there you go. If I was president, then I would remove all the biases that divorce court has against men. I would get rid of that. And then I would make it more fair, and I would incentivize people to get married. But ultimately, I think it's better to be married within the church or within the mosque than to get married. I'm not even like, see, hypothetically, like you're saying, if I'd be president, I'm kind of a libertarian. I don't really like people telling me what to do. So yeah, I don't want the government
A
involved.
lot
in
of
my life.
libertarianism actually centers around like contracts, and marriage is a contract. So you don't think that that's a good idea for people to voluntarily?
I think it's better to have a contract with God than have a contract with Biden.
Do you think marriage is a contract with Biden? Yeah.
With the government. You understand what I'm being facetious.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Thank you, Jeffrey. Sneako undeniably inspires the viewers to become better. His stream got me working out and fired up. Let's go. Watch Destiny for weeks and he is smart, entertains, but gives no value to streamers. W Sneako. Yeah, man. You got anything to say about that? He's on Tinder right now, isn't it? Sparta was a diarchy, which means Sparta was ran by 2 kings. Both kings were part of 2 different bloodlines. Ask them to name 3 countries. Okay, they know 3 countries. They're not. Come on, man. But have you seen on Fresh and Fit the girls that can't name 3 countries?
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
It's pretty funny. It's also sad at the same time that they think that Dubai is a country or Cancun. It's just like, it tells you a lot about what they value if they think Cancun is a country or like they think London is the capital of Paris.
So like, okay, as far as education goes, you obviously think that they should know more about like geography and stuff like that. Like you don't consider, do you like the American like education system, or do you think it's brainwashing?
A lot of the American education system is brainwashing. A lot of it trains you to be part of the matrix.
Can you give me an example?
You go, it's training you to be part of the 9 to 5. You have a schedule. You're told when you can go to lunch. You have to get a pass to go to the bathroom. You eat the same thing every day. You go to a cafeteria, eating similar food to what they eat in prison. If you act up too much, like me, if I'm wilding out in class, they give you pills. They say you have ADHD. They say you have a problem.
Well, the structure, yeah, but I'm talking more about like the curriculum.
What about the curriculum? It's mostly the schedule and the
like
monotony
which
of it.
subjects do you think are like?
It's not necessarily the subject, but they're not teaching you how to be self-governing. They don't want you to be independent. They don't tell you about like how to file your taxes. They don't tell you about entrepreneurship in primary school. They teach you stuff like mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell, and we learned about the Pythagorean theorem. I haven't used that once since I left. And like the stuff that's really made me a lot of money now is stuff that I've learned from like on the internet, on YouTube tutorials and from talking to people.
So like, do you think like math and like algebra, like these are valuable courses?
Of course, they're valuable to learn, like to have basic levels of intelligence, but they should focus more on telling you how to actually make money. Like, why don't they tell you about the Federal Reserve? I never learned about that.
Well, like
in school.
becoming an engineer would make you like a lot of money. That would be very lucrative.
Yeah, but that's college. I'm talking about primary school.
Do you feel like college is also brainwashing, or no? Do you think that's an over-exaggeration?
I think all colleges in America are woke indoctrination camps. Like, for example,
Have you gone to college?
I dropped out. I was there for 2 years in New York.
What was your major?
Film.
Do you mind me asking which college in New York you went to?
No, I'm not going to say.
That's okay. That's fine.
So
Yeah.
why did you choose to major in film?
Because I'm a creative at heart, and I was making YouTube videos for like 10 years, and I wanted to make movies. And so, you know, I wanted to be a YouTuber, but I wasn't as successful at the time. So I decided, like, you know, that was the safety net. When you're 18, you decide to take on a bunch of debt. Like me, I had $60,000 in debt after I dropped out. They give you this opportunity to take out a bunch of loans. But it's funny, if you're 18 and you walk into a bank and you ask for a $60,000 loan to open up a business, they'll deny you. But they'll give you a student loan immediately so you can go into debt. It's telling you become a debt slave so we can control you. Immediately when you graduate, you have to get a job to go pay off the debt. Now you are part of the matrix.
Wait, so do you agree with their policy on like universal or like free state college and stuff like that?
I don't like handouts.
Well, we're already paying with it.
But you said like the debt was bad. Like you would have rather not had as much student loan debt, right?
Yeah, it costs too much, but I don't think making it free is the solution.
Do you know how public colleges are funded? Most of them?
Yeah, it wouldn't be free. It would be
They have big donors for the most part.
Most public colleges, the way that they're funded is through taxpayer money. So the literal state governments are already giving a lot of these colleges like millions upon millions of dollars. So the reason why I believe that there should be like free or reduced tuition is because we're essentially taxing people twice when we make them pay tuition for public universities. And then also taxing them on top of that. So,
that's fucked up.
Yeah, so the argument is like, it's not really a handout. We're already paying for it.
So maybe you would support it, right? No.
It's okay.
Yeah, maybe you could argue for that. That doesn't sound like a terrible, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound like a terrible idea.
So you do think there's at least some value in like a secondary education?
There is, but it costs too much in the West, and it's a scam for most people. And
well, like absent, if money weren't an issue, like in general, do you think most like colleges, universities, and stuff like that, do you think that there's more value in it than negatives?
If it cost less?
Well, like, I'm talking about, like, the curriculum and, like, the entire culture of, like, universities in the United States.
No, the culture of college in the United States, too, just encourages degeneracy, like you're told. I was partying, like, and that, I think a lot of people can relate to that. Of course, there's, like, some schools are the exception, but, yeah, it just, the fraternity culture, the constant partying, living in the same dorms as a bunch of girls. You know, it's mostly a lot of drinking culture. Everyone's smoking weed.
Okay, hold on. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I feel like you have narratives for society and you like backwards reason so many things that don't even exist.
Like what?
So, like, for instance, you've reasoned out that colleges are these degenerate campuses that are horrible places, right?
Not all of them.
And then you start to give these things that happen, but, like, some of the stuff you're pointing out is contradictory. So, for instance, I personally think that having to live in a dorm, if you go to a college, I think that's dumb. Because I wouldn't want to be forced to live somewhere because I've been on my own since I've been 18. But the reason why they do that is explicitly to counter the things that you mentioned. A lot of dorms have literally no alcohol rules. A lot of dorms are...
And everybody drinks in there anyway.
They might, but that's not because the college is letting them. That's because the kids are doing
Well, I'm not saying it's because of college. I'm talking about the culture.
You can say the culture, but that's not pushed by the college. The colleges will literally kick you out if you have, like, people in other dorms that are supposed to be there. If, like, the room attendants get you, like, drinking you're not supposed to. Like, that's, like, part of the rules that they try to enforce on campus. I don't know if you can blame college for that when they literally...
I'm blaming the culture. That was the question.
Sure, you can blame the culture, but you can't say that college is indoctrinating them. It would be like the students.
No, college. No, but they're indoctrinating them in different ways. They hire only woke professors. There were no conservative professors at my school.
You've pivoted to a totally different topic. Right?
Well, those are different things.
Colleges have rules against the very things that you're complaining about. Just because colleges have.
I'm complaining. I have gripes with different things. It's the culture of college and also how the professors are all woke and they encourage kids.
Again, but neither of those things you just said. I think you're pivoting to another thing.
Those are two separate ideas. I'm not pivoting.
You complain about college campuses having, like, drinking on campus and having, like, women in dorms and stuff. Dorms have explicit rules against those things. Yeah,
you said that. Those are two separate issues, the two issues that I had with college and why I think it was a waste of time. I'm not pivoting. Those are just two different complaints.
Okay. But that has nothing to do then with the college pushing something. Those are the students.
I said that. It's the culture.
All right, just make sure.
Yeah.
Also, you really don't think there's a difference between giving a loan to a kid that's federally backed by the government for a student loan versus giving a random person a $60,000 loan for a small business?
I think if they're going to give out, like, and a lot of kids will take like $100,000 loans. If they can quickly...
First of all, not a lot of kids will. That's an exceptionally high student loan rate.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Well, after several years. Like,
That's still exceptionally high.
$100,000 in student loan debt? I don't know what the stats are.
And it does seem like it, but $100,000 is an exceptionally high student loan rate.
I know a lot of people who have that.
No, you don't.
I know a lot of people who have that. Yeah, I do.
Then you know rich people.
Okay.
What do you think the average student loan debt is in the United States?
20 to 40,000?
Yeah, it's $37,000.
I'm right.
So if the average student loan debt is $37,000.
I said I know a lot of people who have $100,000
Yeah, when you say a lot of people, you're implying that it's like some sizable portion. Those people have more than 2.5 times the average outstanding student loan debt.
Okay, there's people with that, but I also acknowledge that the average is between 20 and 40.
Well, then I don't care about those people. Because just earlier you were screaming at them, the exception doesn't prove the rule, the exception doesn't prove the rule, but now you want to use an exception to say that...
I wasn't making it the rule. I told you what the rule was. It's 20 to 40,000. And my point, the bigger point was, if they can hand out $20 to $40,000 in student loan debt to all these kids, then they should be quickly giving out loans to kids who want to start their own business, but they don't.
What do you think the failure rate is on a business? Do you know what the number of failed startups is?
I bet the rate of failed college students is higher than the rate of failed businesses.
Well, the failure rate of business is 98%. How many kids do you think drop out of college? Do you think it's 98%? Do you think it's 99%?
That's not the only metric that can decide whether someone failed at college.
It's the metric that I'm going to use if I'm loaning money as a bank. I have student loans that are backed by the federal government, and then I've got loans I can make to individuals that have a 98% failure rate.
Well, because the bank wants you to be constantly paying that off, and they want you to start working immediately, so you start paying taxes, so you start becoming in a certain tax bracket. They want you to be there.
The bank wants you to make more money so that you contribute more money to society, so they've got more money to loan out. They've got more shit to do, of course. But like, that's not a bad thing. You want the bank to be incentivized to have you to make more money. You want the bank not incentivized to have you make more money? Somebody willing to loan you money is taking a gamble. They're taking a bet saying, I bet you're going to do better in the future, so I'm going to front the cost of your education now, because that investment that you make in yourself is going to pay off dividends, not only for you, because the average earnings of somebody with a 4-year degree is $1 million higher over a lifetime compared to somebody who has a high school degree. They're going to bet on you earning more money for yourself and for the bank. But there's something wrong with that. That's just capitalism 101, right?
What's your point? College is good?
Just saying.
Okay. Destiny will say Sneako and Fresh and Fit encourage incel culture for things they can't control, but say otherwise for college and the culture college is creating. Pornography is more harmful than gambling as it exploits men's dopamine receptors to shift their individual demand curves for relationships and makes them value pixels over real experiences. Yeah, they're both bad. They're both bad.
Okay, here's another question, Em. I'm so curious. How can you look up to Andrew Tate when he made all of his money contributing to the two worst areas of society, which is gambling and cam girls?
The same reason why I look up to a lot of I look up to a lot of drug dealers who are now successful businessmen. I don't respect what they did. I think that drug dealing is bad, but it's a means to an end for a lot of people, and people take the opportunities they could have. I respect people who are gritty and grimy and just they get money the way that they see fit. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's respectable.
That's okay, and you can have a criminal mindset, but then all that shit you said earlier about like poisoning society is bullshit. If you respect somebody who does like
but he didn't create porn. He saw the market and like he added to it. Doesn't make him a good person. I don't respect that.
What about OnlyFans?
He was part of the Matrix, right?
Why are you blaming them? They saw the they saw the demand, and they just decided to jump on the market.
Yeah, I'm more angry.
You respect Andrew Tate.
Okay, see, OnlyFans girls don't really get out of it and become better people after doing OnlyFans for the most part. And the second part is I'm more mad at.
Andrew Tate became better.
I'm answering.
He
He did become better.
advocates for the cam girls, so.
Does he?
Well, yeah, he's talked about like.
No, he said on podcast that he doesn't think
that's
it was that respectable, and he understands, and I don't think
he
he
still
recommends.
owns and runs casinos, which is gambling, which is haram, right?
Yeah, it's not. Nobody's perfect with all the money that they make.
Hold on, wait.
My point is that I'm more mad at the system that pushes this stuff and provides it to us, like MindGeek, who owns all the porn companies, than the people who are just like, am I going to get mad at El Chapo? Am I going to get mad at the drug dealer, or am I going to get mad at Biden open up the border?
Would that be a feminine answer in your world? Women follow, men lead. If you want to see a better world, shouldn't you create it instead of being a cog in the machine? If Andrew Tate was a guy that had to sell drugs and he was making $25,000 a year, then fine, fuck it. I'm not going to sit there and throw the book at him. But the guy's a multimillionaire. Doesn't he brag about being a multi-world champion kickboxer? This guy didn't need to make another 10, 20, 30, 40.
He don't make a lot of money kickboxing.
Do you think he was okay? Or do you think it was like...
He was broke. He talked about... No, he was pretty broke as a kickboxer.
So the only thing that guy could do was be a scammer. He could only contribute to the degradation of society by scamming men at a money.
No, he could have been driving buses. He could have got a normie job.
He could have been an engineer. He could have been he could have done anything else in society but be a scammer. He couldn't run a real business.
They wanted to make their own money. They wanted to
contribute to the degradation. They wanted to be followers.
Destiny, my point is, I don't think that it's a good thing to do that, but I understand that people just take the opportunities that are in front of them.
Cool. But then you can't be mad at any OnlyFans girl.
I'm not mad at them.
At any.
When did I ever say I was mad at OnlyFans girls?
You've never attacked people like that for.
I make fun of them.
Why?
Because it's goofy.
Why not? Isn't Andrew Tate even more goofy though?
He's getting out of it. He doesn't do cam girls anymore, and he got out of the casinos. Well, we make fun of him.
He got out of casinos. Doesn't he still own?
He's getting out of the casinos.
Oh, he's in the process. So he's still goofy right now.
I think that gambling is less goofy than doing OnlyFans.
Really?
Yeah, I told you that.
Gambling is literally one of the most. I think it's more addictive than heroin.
John Zerka's calling. Bro, he always trying to get in this shit when you're in here, man. Yeah, Zerka, I'll call you later, man. Yeah, it's just, like I respect 50 Cent, for example. He's a CEO now, but he started selling crack. Like Jay-Z, same thing. He's a billionaire. He started out selling crack. I don't think that crack is good, but I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle, man.
You respect people putting money over their values. That's what you're essentially saying.
No, I respect taking the opportunities that are in front of you.
By putting money over your values.
No, I don't respect. You're equating something that I'm not saying.
Well, what you're saying is that, oh, they're just taking the opportunity in front of them. They're just doing what the market demands. They're just making money because they need that money. And it doesn't matter if it's wrong. I still, look up to them because they got the bag. They got what they needed to do. But they got what they needed to do by doing bad stuff. By saying, my values, porn is wrong, if gambling is wrong, I'm going to just capitalize this and make money. So to me, it seems like there's a really big difference between like your values and money. And if you're willing to say like all these wrong things, I'm still going to do it because I get that bag, that means you value money more.
No, I mean, same thing. I think that premarital sex and hoes and shit like that, I think that that's a bad thing, but I still do it. It doesn't mean that I think I'm a great person, stuff like that. But, people sin.
Yeah, but you're saying you respect these people for basically sinning because they got money out of it.
I respect people hustling. I respect the hustle.
So do you think capitalism is like compatible with your values?
Yeah.
But I feel like we've just been going through like a litany of examples where people were putting money before their values. Because they were economically incentivized to do it, given our economic system.
Who are you talking about? OnlyFans girls?
Andrew Tate by like capitalizing upon like a cam girl operation.
Or like 50 Cent, or like all the people that
or the
were
gambling
talking
streamers,
about drugs as well. Like
where you were
all the
saying like you can
examples.
understand why they do it, given that there's a financial incentive to do so, but you still don't think you think it's degenerate behavior. So like, how can you ask people to, or like how are you supposed to ask people to prioritize their values? But you're also saying that people should prioritize making money.
What's your question?
Like, I feel like your values are incompatible with capitalism. But I'm guessing you're pro-capitalism.
Yeah, I'm pro-capitalism.
I know, but like, we're looking at all of these examples where people had to betray their values in order to like make money.
Right, I can respect different things about it. I respect the fact that he was able to sell a product that much and figure out the market and monetize simps and master that. But I don't respect the actual system around it. Like, I don't respect a lot of what's going on in America. I'm living in here making money in this system that I think is extremely degenerate. You know, like maybe if I'm completely by my values, I would get out of here and go to a God-fearing country and go to church every day. But I'm here, I'm part of this system. And so I respect people's hustle. Not everything about it, but I respect people's grind.
Would you have respected him more if he had chosen to make like less money, but lived his values more holistically in his whole life? Or, like, fulfilled his values more?
Would I have respected him more if he made less money?
Yeah, but let's say
he stayed true to his values.
Like, let's say he became an engineer, or let's say even less. Let's say somehow he made really good money being an Uber driver, for example. Would you have respected that more because he didn't, end up exploiting women or anything like that?
If he found a way to like hack the system of Uber driver and get like tips from different people and become a multi-millionaire from it, then I would respect it.
No, I mean just like a normie job.
Yeah, just like a normal income. Just, enough
like
to get out of debt.
a year or something like that.
What do I respect people who are stuck inside of the debt system?
No. I'm saying, would you respect him more if he was, a normal job, just, barely.
And he made as much money?
No, less money, but it's not like he's dying of debt or anything. He's just
But
stable.
he dies with principles because he lives his values.
Yeah,
he doesn't help contribute to like cultural degeneracy.
That's not why I respect him. That's not why I consider him like.
But shouldn't you respect him even more if he did that? Because it's like, wow, like you were still able to get out of poverty. And yeah, you didn't become super extra rich, but you lived true to your values. And that means something. That means more than money.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're acknowledging that like society rewards degeneracy, right? Like gambling, sex, drugs, travel.
No, I'm saying society rewards hard work.
Hard work in these sectors, right?
Yeah. The sector's bad, but society rewards hard work. You have to work with what you have available to make some shit shake and use that money to advance. Yeah.
You think OnlyFans women do hard work?
No, not at all. They're lazy. I just met a lot of OnlyFans girls that are extremely lazy. You have to take like 3 pictures a day. It's simple. And like a lot, they don't even do, like some of them haven't even posted in months and they just rake in the money. It's easy work.
You don't think?
Neither of those things are true.
I've talked to OnlyFans girls all the time on Fresh and Fit. What's not true?
The OnlyFans girls you talked to on Fresh and Fit have like 20 followers. They're from rich families. These people are all spoiled. People that are actually
That's not true at all.
That is absolutely true. I know way more successful women on OnlyFans than you do, I promise. And the amount of work that they put in, like marketing their shit, working their different media platforms, going.
Most of these girls that go on OnlyFans, they have a whole agency do all the work. It's a guy chatting behind the screen. It's not even them typing.
You can outsource some of the work if you want. That's just smart business, though. But the only girls that can do that are the ones that are already really successful. A girl with 50 followers is not paying an agency to do her shit, or she's making like $20 a month. That like if you can say OnlyFans degenerate, that's fine. But you saying like, oh, OnlyFans take 3 pictures a month, that's like saying like, oh, YouTubers, they just like get in front of a camera and talk, right? That's dumb. Everybody works at their hustle.
Okay, I've yet to see an OnlyFans girl that's worked. Maybe you know more than me.
Have you ever seen Amaranth's video with Vice?
Yeah,
I went on an E-Day.
Successful OnlyFans girls.
I went on an E-Day with her.
Around the world by like sugar daddies, and like they put in a lot of work for their shit.
Yeah, sitting in a
Amaranth like streams all day, and then as soon as she's done streaming, she does all of this content for her OnlyFans. It includes like photo shoots and stuff like that. She responds
like 4
to emails.
hours of sleep. Like everything else is working.
Like you could say it's degenerate, but like she is working hard.
Okay.
And that's the only part of her job that you respect.
It feels like you don't respect that, but yet you respect Andrew Tate, even though you
like
can
men
see...
capitalizing on that, but you don't respect the women within these industries.
I don't respect OnlyFans girls?
No, the women within like sex work industries. So OnlyFans girls, like yeah, that falls under it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see like sitting in a hot tub is that hard.
But that's not the only thing she does. That's what we were just trying to illustrate. Like, if you look at her schedule, she's always doing photo shoots. She's streaming for like 8 hours or more. She gets like 4 hours of sleep on average. She's obviously doing a lot of work. That's not just sitting in that. Do you like it when people say, oh, you're just sitting in the chair all day? Like, would you obviously you would be like, no, like I'm also doing things outside of stream. When I'm on stream, I'm still trying to engage with my audience. It's not like you sell
but
it for
there's a
8
mental
hours.
challenge in that. Sitting in a hot tub is like the same stuff. You just have Sims go compliment you for your body.
Well, she's still talking to those people. She's still trying to keep them entertained. You can say, oh, like, you know, it's not as hard as you. But
yeah, I don't respect it as much because it more has to do with how you were born. Like, if you're born good looking with giant tits, you're gonna make a lot of money on OnlyFans. It's a lot of it is in God's hands rather than your work ethic.
So you think it has nothing to do with personality?
Not much, no.
No?
No, not really. I don't know what fucking... I've been on an E-date with Amaranth. I don't know what the personality is. She was just there, like... Yeah, there wasn't much there.
Was there no personality, or were you just on listening?
I was listening. I talked to her. I had to talk to her 3 different stages. I came second place, or third or something like that. It just wasn't... Yeah. And that's more experience than most of the Sims I watch. I don't remember anything specific about her personality. She didn't make me laugh. She didn't say anything unique.
So it's not just hard work that you value. You value hard work and their personality.
There's a lot of things that I value in a person. Personality being funny is one of them.
But the reason why I bring that up is it goes back to Andrew Tate, or with this general principle that you stated in the beginning, right? Where you said, okay, I value people who work hard, even if it's not the most glamorous work, like I still value that they got the bag. So we gave you an example of somebody who does that. That's an OnlyFans.
Here's the thing. See, I don't respect Andrew for doing OnlyFans. I respect the life path. To be able to go from being a kickboxer and then analyzing what's in front of him, the opportunities he had, the ring girls and stuff like that. His life path with Tristan working a sales job and like bringing in revenue. The fact that they shared a car and then they made and monetized that money and started investing in the right things and going into other businesses. I respect the overall life path. It's not specifically doing OnlyFans work. That's not it. It's the whole journey. And OnlyFans is not really a journey. It's not a means to an end. It's not, a lot of them don't have to do it. But when you're in a scenario like that, where you're dead poor and you're eating KFC food from the leftover dumpster, I respect the grind and pivoting from kickboxing and taking your skill set from one industry and bringing it to another one and using your experiences and being able to apply that to another business. That is what I respect.
Okay, so my old roommate, she's an OnlyFans girl, and she had to pay for her housing and schooling all by herself. Her parents didn't give her a dime. She used to work hours in the Cheesecake Factory, barely making rent. She got a viral TikTok, and then she was able to transition that to OnlyFans. And now she doesn't have to worry about rent or, you know, paying for schooling. She has all of that covered. Would you say that you respect her? Because she literally went from, you know, nonstop hours, barely making it, no help, to now being able to support.
What is she now,
lifestyle.
though? See, this donation says it perfectly. I know. Sneako respects the evolution of Andrew Tate and what he stands for today. OnlyFans girls are just OnlyFans girl. Andrew Tate has been able to inspire an entire generation of men who are told that being a man is a bad thing, who are being told that toxically masculine is a thing, that gender doesn't matter, that you don't have to embrace your masculinity. He has pivoted and he's inspired a lot of people. Is your roommate inspiring anybody? Has she learned any lessons, or is she still just known as an OnlyFans girl? People don't remember Andrew Tate for being the cam girl guy. They respect him for what he talks about.
I mean, I remember him for being the cam girl guy. But regardless of that, let's put a pin on that. She's trying to work more. You're going to make fun of it, but I don't think you should, because you're Catholic and Christian. She's trying to shift more into like spiritual work now and like focusing on like meditation and trying to like help people through that. Do you respect that?
That's fine.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't know if it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meditation, cool.
So what's more important to you?
You're right, Kellen.
Your followers like making money or like living their values?
Living true to your values. That's more important.
Interesting.
I feel like I'm kind of stuck when it comes to the whole Andrew Tate stuff. Because you're talking about, oh, you know, he's known for embracing masculinity. Can you give me specific examples of him embracing masculinity in a way that doesn't degrade women? Because I agree, you can embrace masculinity and not degrade women, but from at least content I've seen, which is biased, which is why...
Have you seen a podcast?
I've seen just like
clips,
random stuff.
Yeah, that's everybody.
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
I know, but I knew that you were gonna say that because everybody like you, the she/theys who dislike Andrew Tate, they just have seen a couple TikToks that have been edited in a way to make him look misogynistic.
I saw one interview that.
Have you seen the whole interview?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
Pretty sure. I don't think you did. You gotta watch the long form podcast, and you will see his philosophies and how he inspires men to be the best that they can be, to take personal responsibility, to not sit and stew, but to take action, to work fast, to become better, to get in the gym, to be the best person you could possibly be.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that stuff. I'm specifically talking about the stuff when it seems to denigrate women. So for example, there's one where he's talking about OnlyFans girls, and he's saying, oh, I'm okay with my whatever, my property. He literally says property, doing OnlyFans, but she has to give me all the money because she's my property. And it just seems like this is not a very good way to view anyone. And that's why I'm asking you about it.
What's your question?
My question originally had to do with the fact that, can you give me specific examples of him talking about women in a way that isn't denigrating towards them?
He says women are the most beautiful creatures in the world and we need to protect and provide for them. And being a mother is the best thing that a woman could do. And
you disagree with
they're the spiritual balance, and he says that they're the spiritual balance to a man. Maybe property, I understand why that word upsets you, but I think that a man should feel like he needs to protect and provide for his woman, and in a sense belongs to him. I think a woman likes to feel that way. In a marriage, is what he talks about, like the father will hand off the woman to the new husband, signifying it's a spiritual example, or it's an example that this man is now in charge of you. This man now takes care of you. So belonging is a different way to say like he's taking care of her.
Do you believe men, and because I hear this phrase a lot, so I'm just wondering if you actually believe it or not. Do you believe men and women are equal? Because
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're different, so we're not equal.
I mean, some people say different but equal. That's why I was asking.
Different does not. Different is the opposite of equal.
Okay.
No, we're 100% not equal. And that's another like blue pill ideology that I did these the videos I'm talking about in the New York City subway. I was asking people, are men and women equal, and they couldn't provide any answers as to why. We have an equal importance, of course, but we are completely different, which means not equal.
Well, then how can you say we have an equal importance if you don't think we're equal?
Our roles, we both need to play our role, but we're unequal because men are stronger. Men are the providers. Men are the protectors. Men are supposed to be stoic. Men are supposed to lead. Women are supposed to nurture and be the spiritual balance and be the feminine balance in a relationship and be able to raise the children. So that's equally important to continue society and continue the world, but it doesn't mean we're equal.
So do you think that like the women that Andrew Tate exploited in like his cam girl enterprise, do you
Why
think
did you use the word exploited?
Because I guess, do you not see it as exploitation or no?
They made more money than they made before. They were happy. They were in love.
Money?
Oh yeah, all of them. A lot of them.
No. But didn't they have to give it all to him? He literally said over 90%. Like.
No, he said that in a relationship, but these girls, I think, it was like 50-50.
No, I think you can find like videos of him literally saying like, oh, give me 90% of the profit.
He was talking if he was in a relationship with an OnlyFans girl, but not the cam girls he was working for.
I think I read texts but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we can search it up right now. Messages where he says, oh, it keeps the vast majority of the money, if not just straight up majority, if not 90%. Like I remember reading the website that he used to write in, but maybe I'm wrong. We can Google it.
What do you want me to Google?
Hold on. He literally talked about scamming them on tax documents, right?
Yeah. That too.
If you want, you can look up like Andrew Tate tax scam.
Chat said they made 40%. Some people were saying 50-50. Well, how did they scam on the tax forms? And Amgad says, how many Andrew Tates versus how many OnlyFans girls? If it was easy, anyone would have done it. That's why we respect Andrew. Yeah, any girl can become an OnlyFans girl. Not every person could be able to manage 75 girls at once.
No, but not any girl can become Amaranth. Just like not every person that manages cam girls can become Andrew Tate.
Yeah, but Amaranth is still just an OnlyFans girl.
Yeah, and Andrew Tate is still just a pimp.
Not to you, but to most people in chat type of one, if he's inspired you and he's been an example and you look up to him. Like this is how he is to most men in the West. To you, I understand blue hair, like it's not going to be that way.
Well, it's not about blue hair. It's about like you don't have a consistent set of values. Like if I ask you what does it mean to be a good person, whatever answer you give me is going to ring hollow when the person you look up to has engaged in some of the biggest forms of spreading cultural debauchery of any other person in the world. right? He's been involved in massive casinos, which is a horrible habit to spend.
Look at all the ones.
And he's been involved in cam girling, which you think leads to the destruction of masculinity in society. He's managing, what, 75 different cam girls that are like destroying every single man that's interacting with their product? But this is like a person you look up to. Why? Because he needs to make another $5 million, another $10 million.
We just had this whole conversation for like an hour straight, Destiny. I respect the fact that he pivoted away from that in the journey of his life. That was part of it. It doesn't define who he is. Same thing with Jay-Z, same thing with 50 Cent. They dealt drugs. I respect the fact that they became like globally known businessmen who uplift a lot of people.
If you were to ask a rapper that got out of like the projects, that got out of selling drugs, do you think they would look back and brag on it? Or do you think they'd say like, fuck, like I'm glad I got out, like that was bad? That
they
sucked.
brag about the hustle, not really the fact that look how many people I got high. It's look how much money I made. Look how much I worked. Look how much I hustled. It's not about spreading the degeneracy.
Do you think if Andrew Tate spoke about his cam business, do you think he would be saying like, oh yeah, like it was probably bad and everything, but like I had to hustle?
No, because he doesn't speak in that regret, apology, blue pill type of language.
Not regret or apology. Hold on, you're Catholic, okay? Reconciliation and contrition are some of the biggest things that you could do because it shows an understanding that you've overcome sins that you've done in the past. When you constantly use this excuse of like, oh well,
you could do it to God, you could do it in your prayers, you could do it to church. Doesn't mean he has to do it on camera in front of a lot of people who hate him and want to call him degenerate.
That's so like, and this is also the triggering part. That's part of being a man, right? Is when you make a mistake, when you society, you have to own that. That's
not what a mistake is, though. That's a mistake is slipping up and saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing by accident. This was a conscious decision they made for years.
To the moral degradation of society, which he does through all of his major income streams.
Not anymore.
Maybe not, but that's how we built. That's the only reason you know who he is.
Look, we're going back and forth about this, but it's the same reason that I respect 50 Cent and Jay-Z. They don't have to do that forever. It's the journey in becoming better.
So
we're not
do you
perfect.
think that like former OnlyFans models and like his former cam girls?
I have yet to meet an OnlyFans girl. Yeah, they can become good moms. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's harder to because they have a digital footprint out there that makes them, they'll get made fun of and stuff like that. They can still become good mothers. I don't deny that. But I have yet to meet an OnlyFans girl who became a successful entrepreneur and is known for inspiring the female youth. What happens is Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, they do prostitution type behavior. Cardi B was drugging and robbing men. And what does she do? She sings about it even more and she encourages it even more in her music. They don't try to pivot away. They don't try to talk about God or inspire the female youth. They encourage degeneracy even more on the people that listen to their music. Andrew Tate is not encouraging anybody to be degenerates. In fact, it's the complete opposite.
You don't think that when he talks about, your women being property, that doesn't encourage degeneracy? It's literally saying that instead of viewing women for all their beautiful properties, they're instead viewed as your literal property. They're viewed as beneath you. Instead of talking about, hey, like what you were talking about before, they're equally important roles. Instead, it's denigrating them.
I understand why you think that, but I think the word is distracting you from the bigger point. When I hear something like that, I'm like, yeah, I really want to protect and provide for my woman. I want to feel like she belongs to me, like we're together.
But
property, I understand why you don't like that word. I personally wouldn't use it, but you got to look at the meaning and the intention behind him saying that.
It seems you ascribe better intentions than what he's actually saying. If it seems like he would not use the word property if he didn't mean property.
Yeah, but it's so charitable. I feel like it borders on dishonesty.
Right, but at that time, and you got to realize a lot of it is shock jock type of wording. He knows that it's going to make a lot of people like you upset, and so that's why you say it, because it goes viral and it's a system that works. When you trigger people, equally people are going to understand, and the other side are going to be extremely triggered about it. Same thing, that's how Trump got extremely famous. Like when he calls people out by names and stuff like that, he knows that a lot of people are going to get upset, and the news are going to talk about it and say he's immature, but at the same time, he's going to connect with the people that get it. So it's shock jock and it's entertainment value, but you can't take everything
men
literally.
have a responsibility towards women. How do you feel about him using words explicitly like inflammatory words to upset women? You don't think that kind of...
It wasn't to upset women, it's to upset liberals. And also I could separate that because I know him in real life and I've seen him around plenty of women and he's nothing but respectful, kind. He opens the door. He does everything that a gentleman should do and women love being around him. So I take personal experience over stuff that I see in the media. And I understand why he said that. It's shock jock and it goes viral. And look, we're here still talking about it now.
Don't you feel like that's also betrayal of his values?
Yeah, like just say anything to make money.
It's not to make money. It's a lot of it is entertainment value.
Like just say anything that you have to say to get attention, get money.
I guess you could say it's to get attention. I think of it as entertainment. Like if you look at a lot of their early content, it was like waving around a sword. Like he had the pimping hose degree. It was just like, it's funny because of how extreme it was and how unfiltered it was.
But even if it's for entertainment, it still seems like he's crossing his values. He's okay with, throwing a bunch of women under the bus, or, you know, not leading them, really making them like super crazy emotional, like you're saying, because he finds it entertaining.
Not even finds it entertaining. When you say stuff like that and it starts a whole conversation, you get to expose how much we're programmed and how triggered we can get over simple words. Stuff that used to be normal. Maybe 100 years ago, calling your wife your property was normal. And so him saying it now exposes how far left we've gone and how different society is. It's just unapologetically truthful. And I respect that, because like I felt a lot of pressure doing YouTube for 10 years to say the right thing, or not talk about the vaccines, or not talk about the election misinformation. They try to suppress exactly what you're talking about. That's why I respect Ye for saying he loves Hitler, because you could say you love Stalin, you could wave the communist flag, but if you talk about Nazis or Hitler, people get extremely triggered. So I like when people
get really upset if you say you like Stalin too. Like
not as much as Hitler though.
The reason why is because a lot of Hitler had a direct connection when it came to genociding a specific portion of the population, like Jewish people. But I'm pretty sure if you say you love Stalin in like Ukraine, you're not going to get a very positive response.
It's not the same as Hitler is seen as like the biggest demon of all time. So my point is, I like when people break the boundaries of what we're not allowed to say, because everybody can relate to this. There's like certain topics that we know for some reason you're not allowed to touch. And when somebody breaks that wall, I respect it, because I like to have free speech. I like to have open dialogue. I don't think that we should focus just on our emotions. We should be able to have real conversation.
But it seems like there's two weird things here. The first one is that, I just like open conversation, but it's not really open conversation, just trying to shock someone and get them upset.
We're having a conversation now because of something he said. It starts open dialogue. As soon as Ye talked about Hitler, now a lot of people are talking about the Nazis and comparing Stalin to Hitler, or Hitler to Mao, or talking about what the Nazis really did, or we even talked about 6 million. It opens the door for more conversations. When he talks about property, now we talk about protecting and providing for your wife.
When do you consider conversation useful?
Pretty much all the time.
So you don't think there can ever be something as a useless conversation?
Yeah, I think the tattoo conversation on a date is useless, or like astrology, star signs, I think that's useless.
Okay, what is the difference between a useful and useless conversation to you? What is a determining factor? I think a useful conversation is something that makes you think in a different way, is when you challenge your beliefs, you challenge your ideas. I think this conversation this whole time, even though like in the beginning it was a little bit aggressive, and I think this is a positive conversation, because we both challenged our beliefs, and like maybe we're going to walk away from this thinking something different. Also, this is entertaining. A lot of people here watching this, like there's equally the same amount of haters as there are people who respect me. So it's good to have this type of dialogue, because it shows that we can disagree and not hate each other. Most blue pill people are not even able to engage in this conversation. That's why Destiny says it's better to talk to conservatives, because liberals are so triggered. And I respect you for being able to have this dialogue and challenging me to debate. Most of you are not even able to do it. You stay in your little huddle, you get triggered, you lead by your emotions, and you're not capable of engaging in actual dialogue. This is why free speech is a right-wing idea, and why Rumble is the only website that really promotes it, because you can't have free speech on YouTube and Twitch. And that's a leftist idea. Right-wing people like to talk.
Well, hold on. Just to be clear, right-wing people like to talk because right now they're on the back foot. But when right-wing people have the opportunity to censor and cut things out, they would do that shit all the time too. But right now, left-leaning people are the ones who kind of have the control of the culture, so of course they do it. But I mean, right-leaning people try to get rid of like gay people and trans people and all sorts of shit from media when they were like more in charge of shit, or like maintain the Starbucks cups and the Merry Christmas and blah blah blah. It's just that left-leaning people right now are the ones that are
in charge.
Yeah,
fair point.
So, do you believe useful conversations are those that have entertainment value? Is that what?
No, that's not the only thing. This one that inspires critical thinking, one that inspires debate, but also I don't want to personally. I don't like boring conversations. This was mentally stimulating, so this is a good conversation. I like, my motto for the stream is seek truth through funny. I want to be able to tell the truth, but through something funny. I like Dave Chappelle. He signed that $100 bill right behind you, because stand-up comedians, they follow the motto: if it's funny because it's true. It's truthful. What makes me laugh is something that's uncomfortably true that I really know. That's when you laugh from your gut. So I like being able to speak about uncomfortable truths through comedy.
Do you think that like Kanye was joking when he said that he liked Hitler though?
No, he's being truthful. But he was saying something provocative on purpose. The overall idea, see, people say like, oh, look, he's a Nazi. No, he's not. He's black. He said that because he wants to love everybody as Jesus would. Jesus wants us to love everybody. So he said the one thing, you can't say you love Hitler, even though Jesus wants us to be able to love everybody. So I have a lot of things I love about Hitler. There you go. You said the last thing that you can't say, broke that wall. And now we're here having a conversation about Hitler and Nazis. And he's the first person who publicly said something about him in a long time. A celebrity that big talking about Hitler, it's been unheard of. So I respect that.
You don't think minorities can advocate against themselves?
No, they can, but Ye's not a Nazi. That's the point.
Okay.
Yeah, because he can be a Nazi because he's black.
Okay, but he's not a Nazi.
Oh, but not because
he's black.
Just for other reasons.
Well, you also can't be a true Nazi. You have to be blonde hair, blue eyed. Even Hitler wasn't a true Nazi.
Or like a neo-Nazi, I suppose. Yeah.
I feel like if that's how you're defining Nazi becomes a useless statement, because if we can't even call the leader of the Nazi movement a Nazi, then
by his own definition, he wasn't part of the master race. So.
Yeah, and then nobody's a Nazi, so it doesn't seem like that's a good definition of Nazi. It seems like we should classify Nazi by beliefs, not by,
just a strict adherence to like the tenets of Nazism or like Aryanism.
That's fair. Gigi Samir says, so Andrew's a scammer, but all the girls now on OnlyFans who are doing the absolute same thing, getting money from sad people, is different. They also have managers instead of them. Hypocrisy. Being in charge of more people, I think, is more respectable, and being able to monitor. Like, the girls weren't able to do that by themselves. And I think being in charge of 75 people is like, and being able to manage that many women at the same time, I think that's impressive. Congrats on 14,000 watching, yeah.
So do you think like a good conversation, like it's as inflammatory as like how Kanye was being on the InfoWars show with like Alex Jones, do you think something like that is useful in private? Like if you were on a date with a woman and she said to you, you know, I really love Hitler. Even in the context, like I'll give it to you, like in the context of like something about like spirituality, loving every human being and stuff like that. How would you feel about that?
Well, ultimately the objective on a date for me is to get laid. So I don't see that as a valuable conversation. Like I don't think that girl is going to inspire people. I think that's a conversation that's good in front of a camera and good in front of a lot of people, especially when you're actively running for president. Maybe when you're actively running for president, because a lot of people are going to listen to it. But if you're one-on-one on a date, the objective is to get laid. So no, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just going to try to
when are you going to get better though? Like when are you going to start living up to your values?
If once I know that I actually want to spend time with that girl. On the first date, I don't know. You know, I'm just trying to get laid.
But do you think if she just like jumps into bed with you, that doesn't seem like the type of girl that you were advocating for before? So it seems like you'll never find that girl.
No, I've dated the last couple girls I dated. I slept with on the first night.
And you feel like they were are you like
that's not a determining factor if I want to be with them or not.
Okay. But if you're trying to find a wife, how do you square that with the fact that like the main goal with all of your dates is literally just to like have sex with women?
Well, I have sex with them because like I'm not gonna get married to a girl that I don't like having sex with. What if it's trash?
I thought you said earlier that you wanted like ideally women wouldn't have sex before marriage.
Yeah, and also I realize that most women in the West aren't virgins, so it is what it is.
Would you ever consider moving to Saudi Arabia unironically?
Unironically, I think Dubai seems like a good place to live. Yeah, no tax haven. A lot of people that I like live there.
How do you square away?
Hamza
if you think
Iman.
leftists are bad when it comes to censorship, how the fuck could you live in a society that's like Islamist, like where they like kill people for saying the wrong shit? Like if you think it's bad, you can't like.
I think it's better to follow God than to follow woke.
So then you don't care about lefties censoring shit or whatever. You just think they censor the wrong stuff. You're pro censorship. You're pro oppression.
No, I'm not pro censorship.
Then how the fuck can you join a society that's like a theocratic? Like government. Like,
well, I'm not pro censorship, and I'm not even. I'm a libertarian at heart, but I think it's better to be in a society that follows God than follows degeneracy. I'm not. Doesn't mean
at the cost of all of your freedom.
No, I think that it's better to have all free speech, but I would rather live in a God-fearing society.
Yeah, that's what I said. If it comes to so if you could choose a free liberal society that's godless or a theocratic society,
live in the God society any day.
That you what?
I would live in the God society any day.
Okay, sure. So then you don't care as much about the freedom of speech stuff.
I do.
Stuff is more important.
I do, but when you have people, when you have all these people, because I can live like that, you know, but most people, they need to follow God or else society is going to crumble. I understand like what people need. Andrew Tate has explained what he meant by property multiple times. Sneako is not being charitable in his interpretation, but honest. You girls are being disingenuous. How am I being charitable in my interpretation? Sneako, I love Dubai. Shout out to Darla. I take no girl seriously until we have sex. Once sex happens, then I want to invest more into getting to know her, never before. Yeah, because she has the power before you have sex. After you have sex, now she actually needs to present herself in a way that, you know, she has to be likable. Because that first date, you know, you're just trying to get laid, you know.
That doesn't make any sense at all. What
does it make sense?
None of that did. What? She has the power until you have sex one time, and then what? It like switches like a magical spell?
Yeah, as soon as you have sex, now she's like, now she wants you more. Before you have sex, you're the one low-key trying to put on game to her, trying to present yourself in a perfect way. And then after you have sex, now she's trying to get you.
It just, nothing you're saying, it's not even
Explain
wrong.
What doesn't make sense.
Nothing about that makes sense. Why are you chasing someone that has no interest in you?
It's not about, they can have interest in you, but they don't show it. Because she knows that she's the one with the power. Because
stop buying women that aren't playing games. You sound like you're trying to 14-year-old. That's what that sounds like.
Destiny, I don't know what type of girls you fuck.
Like, well, she doesn't tell me that she likes me. She's trying to hide it. Like, this sounds like.
It's funny that you say that you're married to a girl 10 years younger, and you're going to talk about a 14-year-old, which is 10 years younger than me.
You're trying to fuck a girl that's 20 years younger than me.
Girls are. A lot of women are childish, Destiny. A lot of women act like this.
The types of women that if you're with a woman who's like, well, in the first date, she doesn't show that she likes me, and then I try to fuck her. That sounds like some childish shit. That's some child shit.
Okay, well, you're acknowledging that a lot of women are childish when it comes to dating.
There's plenty of women that don't act like that. But if you spend your whole life chasing women like that, of course you're gonna think.
Okay, slide me their numbers if you find them, because this is my personal experience.
Go through your DMs and talk to someone, or I don't know. Maybe you guys don't have anybody talking to you.
So if you were on a date with a woman and you guys were vibing and you liked everything about her, but she at the end of the date said, "I'm not comfortable having sex on the first date," would you?
I'll go again. I'll go again.
So are you really sure that your primary objective when you're dating is just to get laid?
It's not my for the first date. It is. And that's one of the most important things. It all trickles.
No, but you're saying that you would like respect a woman and continue to see her if she held out on sex from you. So do you feel like you're kind of like
after 2 dates? After 2 dates, if I'm not getting some head, bye. Too much time. It's just too many dinners, too many astrology conversations. I'm not doing it. I got shit to do. I gotta stream.
It feels like you value sex more than like the actual woman, if that's the case. Because you're not really, Or
like the only thing, that you value about women is like their sexuality and like what they can offer you sexually.
No, there's a lot of things I value about women, but sex is one of the most important ones.
Okay, but if a woman is giving you everything but sex, that's still enough for you to be like...
No, fuck no. Everything but... What is that?
That means that you connect with them emotionally.
I'm not going to connect with her emotionally if we're not having sex.
Okay.
Why do you feel like you have to have sex with her to connect with her emotionally?
That's just...
Or like very, very quickly. Because you're saying that like there's a timetable for like when she can have sex with you before you're going to lose interest.
It's not that I'm losing interest, it's that I got shit to do. And I'm not going to take her on 3 dinners because then I'm getting used and she's going to change my name to dinner in her phone, her contact. I don't want to do that.
Jesus Christ, what are you talking to?
All of you red pill guys, you sound like you were hurt. Like by a woman.
Who hurt you?
Yeah, that's it. Who
hurt you?
That's what you sound like when you guys talk.
See, this is a #1 like female response, like when you talk about the truth about dating in the West.
Female response is, if I go to dinner too many times, she's going to put dinner about me in her phone.
Okay, that was a joke, but I don't want to spend 3 dinners with a girl that's not sucking dick. That's just a waste of my time.
All about fucking Catholicism and fucking...
Would you do that? No, be honest. Would you go on 3 dinners and a girl and you're not getting no type of head?
Depends on what I'm after. If I'm just trying to no, but if I'm looking for somebody that I want to form a relationship with, yeah, I'll go for as much as they want. You
will go on 3 dates in a row?
I have before, yeah, of course.
Yeah? Okay.
What do you mean? Because it's not just about the sex. If you want like random sex, you can cover. But if you're after a relationship, of course you're investing more than just your dating the other person. That's obvious.
Okay. I see that as a waste of time. Classic who hurt you.
You know that if you're going with a girl on the first date, she fucks every guy on the first date. You know that, right?
That's not true.
Absolutely. Oh my god, this is code.
Wait, do you think you're only fucking virgins?
No. This is when you ask girls like, what's your body count? And they're like 2, and you guys are pushing the stop the count button on your Fresh and Fit show. What you just said right there was the ultimate count. I'm the only guy she's ever...
I didn't say that either.
She never does that.
I didn't say that either.
God.
I didn't say that either. Not every guy, but yeah, sure. If she's fucking me on the first date, then she probably fucked somebody else on the first date.
Are you okay?
But that's your filter, though, right?
What?
You're saying that you won't fuck with a girl who won't give at least head by the 3rd date. That means every single girl that you're gonna be with has sucked every dick by the 3rd date at least. That's what your filter is, which is fine, by the way, if that's what you're into. But it seems like that's contrary to what you talk about.
Nah. Doesn't have to be. I mean, maybe.
So you think you're
maybe, hopefully she's not been on that many dates. Hopefully she's not going on that many dinners.
Are you looking to only get with virgins?
No, I said this many times that this is not realistic in the West.
Okay, then like, what body count do you think is like too high before you won't even fuck a woman anymore?
I think if it's over half of your age.
Bomboka!
So like the average age of the woman that you're dating is like 20, so if she's more than like 10 guys, you won't even like look her way.
I mean, she's gonna lie about it at first, but in my experience, I mean, that's not the determining factor, but...
Well, if women are always lying about their body counts, like how do you figure out objectively how many men she's been with?
So what?
If you're saying that like women are always going to lie about their body counts, how are you supposed to determine when they're telling the truth? Or like how many men that they've slept with?
You could figure out if she's lying. Like the more time you spend with her, like it shows. It shows.
I mean, but you're already saying that you're not willing to spend time with her if she's not going to be having sex with you. And then like one of the reasons why you might not have sex with a woman is because
Instagram is a good way to tell. Social media makes it easy to tell. Also,
how do you tell through Instagram?
If she's traveling all over the place, if you're in Dubai, Cancun, if you're in different boats, if you're on different balconies, like if you have 3 pictures on a yacht, if you have a bunch of pictures in bikinis, if you have a bunch of scantily clad photos. I like when I see pictures of girls' Instagram and it's like she's baking cookies, or there's a gingerbread house and it's there. She's there with her family, you know? Flower. I like the good flower picture, a good picture of a tree.
Do you feel like you ever might accidentally self-select for like the worst woman?
By your standards.
Why? By the gingerbread house and the cookies?
No.
By
but
the
like fucking, by the this is how women really think. Like they're playing games.
Yeah, because it sounds like the type of woman who might be more willing to like.
We're all playing games and dating. It's all one game.
Agree with that.
It's all one game. You want my time, and I want sex quickly.
But I feel like if you think that like all of the women that you've been with are like playing games, why do you continue to?
Because I'm playing a game too. Women? I'm playing a game too. When I'm sitting there and she's talking about my tattoos, I'm like, yeah, feel my tattoos. You know, it's a game. I'm just saying this shit because I know what I could do. I know the maneuvers in order to get some fucking pussy.
Have you ever?
So you think it's appropriate just to lie to women just to get them to have sex with you?
It's just the difference between a lie and like playing.
Oh, come on. Like you're being.
That's not a lie. That's not a lie.
If you genuinely feel like it's a boring conversation, but you humor it anyway just so you can try to fuck them, don't you feel like you're being dishonest to yourself and to her?
Okay, there's a difference in a type of lie. Like if you're lying about your body count, you're trying to lie about your purity. If I'm lying about being interested in telling you about my tattoos, I'm doing that for your entertainment. It's going to make you happy.
How do you know that she wants you to lie to her? Like I feel like you're playing games.
Because she's asking about my tattoos. She wants to hear about them.
Do you believe that there's value in a woman beyond wanting to date you? Or beyond potentially having sex with you or whatever?
Of course there's value. They add value to the world, but not really to me.
I feel like you can't simultaneously have this like wholesome trad woman who will also like put out on like the 3rd date. Don't you think that that's the type of woman who might be more inclined to like take things slowly? And like how would you ever get to know if you are going to cut them off if they don't have sex with you quickly?
I said this many times. I acknowledge that most women in the West aren't going to do that. They're going to have a couple bodies. They're going to have like 5, 6. But when it gets double digits...
Yeah, but you're saying that they lie about it. So like how can you ever know when they're lying?
I told you could tell.
Instagram.
You could tell Instagram and the way they carry themselves, what they wear, the type of stuff that they're talking about. You can always tell.
Why do you think that it's like incongruent that like a woman who posts wholesome stuff might have like a high body count?
It's okay, sure, but this is my personal experience. This is how I judge it personally. Maybe I'm wrong, but you know, we're all risking it every time you go on a date. You don't really know.
When you say that a woman can add value to the world, but not towards you, don't you think that you're limiting yourself severely or your experience to like grow, become like a better person if you're only judging women by like the value of what they can give you? Like instead of viewing, like let's put this example. Let's say that there is a female version of Albert Einstein or whatever, right? Somebody incredibly smart, like has done, published all these amazing works, and you refuse like to meet with them because like they're ugly. Like, don't you think you're kind of hurting yourself?
Here's the thing: I'm not attracted to the female Albert Einstein.
No, but you don't have to be attracted. That's what I'm saying. If you're basically,
of course, she has value, but not really to what. Why would I like?
Don't you think that there's value in interacting with people that you're not attracted to?
Sure, I'll learn something from her.
Yeah, so you would meet up with her, right?
For dinner?
Or just to talk to her, just to find out like what this like genius person is thinking.
Yeah, like it's the only reason that you engage with women, like only to have sex with them. You don't have any like female friends that you don't have sex with.
For fun. I'm not going to hang out with female Albert Einstein for fun. Would I have her on my stream and talk to her? Kind of like you guys. Like, we're not going to have sex after this, but we're here talking because it's adding value and I'm having an interesting conversation.
Oh, I'm just making sure.
I feel like the type of woman that you're looking for, like this kind of like wholesome trad wife or whatever, is going to be a woman who kind of like tests you and like does play these games with you, does play like power games with you, and like does try to assert boundaries that you're probably not going to be comfortable with. No?
Maybe a little bit, but I'll be able to bob and weave all of it. Like, that's just normal. When a girl falls in love with you, she's going to be like, who's that? And like do the peeking on your phone, but you just got to be able to be better than that and not engage.
Would you ever cheat on your wife?
I wouldn't lie. I would be upfront about it. I don't want monogamy, really.
You don't want monogamy?
No. As of now, no. If I was getting married in the West, absolutely not. If I was in the Middle East, like 4 wives sounds good. But if I got married in the West, I would not ever settle for monogamy. No.
Wait, doesn't
Wait,
like, the
that
whole
goes against
idea-
like Catholic doctrine, as
Yeah.
far as I know.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
I'm not a perfect Catholic.
But this is like
No,
kind of
but you were
beyond-
saying that like you wouldn't sign like a legal marriage contract, right?
Say what?
You wouldn't like sign a legal marriage contract, right?
No.
Okay, like I
Do
don't.
you want some water, by the way?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
This is fucking psycho, dude.
Do you want some water?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
No, I'm good.
Your poor voice there. Hi, stream.
Wait, you want some?
Yes, please.
Were you raised Catholic?
I was raised Catholic. My parents were both traditional Hispanic Catholic, and I think
So polygamous.
I think what is it? My dad, who is a Catholic, would have a heart attack if he thinks if you ever heard another Catholic say that. Steven, you should pay attention.
I'm listening. I'm not gonna jump in and 3v1 while you guys are already 2v1ing, like screaming at. I'm not gonna jump in and like dogpile. It's insane.
I don't want to read chat, but I'm like too blind and I don't want to be like.
I know I can't see anything unless I have my glasses.
You think we're gonna get like a million threads calling us whores afterwards? You think he'll get a bunch of
In
whore
Destiny,
DMs?
like in his community,
No,
like maybe.
just like in Discord randomly. Or in Twitter. Maybe. Probably.
But I don't know if I'm gonna like shut out my app.
I don't. Oh, fuck. Yeah, because you didn't give your ad. Oh. We'll just have to wait. Or I don't know what to touch. Oh yeah, so Catholicism and you wanting multiple wives, like, don't you feel like that goes beyond,
I was
like,
gonna say, isn't that like
Christianity?
Mormonism?
Well, not just, I feel like it goes beyond the whole point of a marriage, right? If it's supposed to be a union between a man and his wife or whatever, if you have multiple wives or multiple girls you're seeing and being unfaithful to your wife, why have a wife? Like, you're just betraying her.
It depends on the agreement we have, and you know, maybe I'll convert to Islam one day. I don't know. I like the idea of God, and Catholicism is what I am used to, and it's what I practice. But I'm open to different interpretations of what God is.
Do you think Islam is the most like red-pilled religion?
That's a good question. Dave Chappelle, like the first person who red-pilled me, I think early on, was Malcolm X, and like his life. What's funny about that, Destiny?
I'm sorry.
Oh wait, did you know that Malcolm X was a leftist?
Yeah, but he also was pro-segregation. He had a lot of right-wing ideas too. I think he was anti-immigration. Yeah, and I like the fact that he converted to Islam in jail. Same thing with Dave Chappelle. He converted to Islam. A lot of people that I respect ended up finding Islam, so I think that there's something to that.
Is Andrew Tate?
Yeah, he's a Muslim
He's
now.
a Muslim.
Yeah, Tristan Tate, who I'm closer with, he's a Christian.
Andrew Tate getting banned off of Twitter is like his version of going to jail and like converting to Islam.
He got banned off of all social media, Airbnb, every single, not just Twitter.
Are you against grooming?
Define grooming.
Trying to convince, like, basically trying to raise children into doing sexual acts or, you know, becoming sexual with an adult in the future.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, okay. How do you feel about, like, the fact that Muhammad, like, married a 9-year-old girl? Or am I just wrong about that?
Listen, that was just his hustle.
I don't know how true that is. I'm not gonna speak it. That's like
It is
shaky
true.
territory. You're about to get a lot of people upset about
But
that.
I don't
actually.
think any Muslims deny it. Like, I think it's common knowledge, no?
If that's true, then he's not. Then you know nobody's perfect.
even within either it's the hadiths or the Quran, if your wife cheats or disobeys you in some ways, the Quran does order Muslim men to like strike their wives. Do you think that's okay?
I mean, if it works for them, I wouldn't do that. I think I can show discipline and show in different ways.
When you say like if it works for them, you're like indifferent if some men beat their wives.
I mean, it worked for a long time. Like before the 70s, like it was common for the husband to, you know, give her a slap once in a while if she was acting up. But, you know, that's going to get you in jail now. So I'm not going to advocate anybody to do that. I don't think hitting women is good. You should be able to control the situation in different ways. Destiny, are you pro or against beating women?
Probably say against, you know.
All right, cool.
Pretty brave, but
So
yeah.
brave.
Come on.
What you looking at? What you been looking at this whole time?
Just Reddit chatting people.
When you came in, I noticed like there was a little bit of static, and I think it's warmed up a little bit, especially with you. Like you came in, I felt like, oh, she thinks I'm misogynist. Have you changed your?
Both probably still think you're.
No, less though. Like, you know, I'm not that much of it. Less. There's less misogyny now than when they came to the door.
You felt like I was cold when you opened the door to me?
Oh no, I felt this is a misogynist from Rumble.
I don't know any of your content. Like I really.
So why did you say that he failed to blue pill me?
That much stuff. No, because Steven is the one who I know has been engaging with you, and I've only seen like one debate, but I guess I'm considering that to be more of like Steven's content since you came onto his stream. But I haven't seen like any of the collabs where like he came to your stream. So, and I haven't watched your stuff.
We're always both streaming when we debate.
Well, I guess, yeah, sure. But
Danny Boy says, I'm a Muslim and that's not true. Aisha's age was not confirmed and Muslim doesn't promote beating your wife. It says hit her with the toothpick, meaning you shouldn't hit your wife. A toothpick doesn't count. Amgad said, tell her the first time an age of consent was created was in 1275 and it was raised from 10 to 9 years old. Back then it was okay.
But that doesn't matter back then.
Days child fucker Muhammad. Hell yes.
Oh, come on, man.
Allahu Akbar!
Some 9-year-olds where you make a badass religion.
not that the Catholic Church is without its like scandals related to like child sex abuse.
True.
Hey, at least Jesus wasn't fucking the little boys, okay?
The left talks about the Catholic churches all the time, but they don't talk about all the grooming that happens in schools and all the LGBT, the twerking. What do you think about the drag queens twerking on children?
It's pretty cringe.
Yeah, I don't think drag queens should twerk on children if they're doing that.
But I don't think like pageants should exist either. Conservatives haven't said shit about that for like decades.
Yeah, that shit's weird.
Almost like it's a partisan hackery position to care about the drag queens, to not care at all about the pageantry. But hey,
Who said it? Who said I was picking and choosing?
If I were to go before this trend stuff, how many times have you talked about pageants?
Yeah, it's only existed in like the deep south, and it's not as common as all the LGBT nonsense that's happening in school.
It's not as common.
I think
It's not as common at all. In New York, I've seen it all. I've seen it with my own eyes. If I saw the beauty pageant, I've never seen a beauty pageant.
There was literally like multiple reality TV shows built around like pageantry and shit.
Yeah, and everybody completely made fun of it.
They
But
made fun
I
of it.
have
They said
never,
it was gross
in
and
my
groovy.
personal experience, I've never seen that. The reason I left New York was how common it was becoming.
Well, sure, but like you're in New York City, right, which is going to be one of the bluer areas in the country. Of course, you might not see that pageant shit as much up there, but if you go to a lot of parts of the South, it was in a ton of places. I'm just saying, conservatives never talk about pageants, but they seem obsessed with like this idea of trans grooming.
Well, here we go.
Like,
Pageants are gross too.
all right, okay, cool.
Ducati says Sneako has literally said child pageants are awful. There you go. Thank you. Shout out to Ducati, man.
Shout out to Ducati.
Ducati.
Shout out to Ducati.
You've been watching too much Andrew Tate, bro. Why'd you just immediately go?
You're mumbling up there. I can't hear you that well.
Bugatti.
Actually, now that I think about it, we talked on stream like for a really, really short period of time, but I didn't have my cam on. I think, and it wasn't like a bad interaction. I actually stood up for you because we were talking about voting, and I asked you if you had voted in the Florida election yet, and Abba and Destiny started laughing, and I said I didn't think they should be laughing at you.
Oh,
Wait, because he said what?
Because I asked him if he had voted yet in the Florida election, and you and Abba started laughing.
Well, I left because I know he doesn't care about voting. That's Matrix shit.
Okay, but like I didn't know that, so I was just saying that I like is like you don't vote just because.
No, I vote, but I couldn't vote yet. I just moved to Florida, so I was still registered in a different state.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Why would you not be willing to meet with us if we weren't attractive?
Mm-hmm. You asked for our Instagrams or socials.
Well, I mean,
if
we're gonna spend 3 hours in your like threes, then it'd be like, oof, like be a strain.
Are you gonna rate us?
You want me to?
Sure. No.
You can rate me. If you're not gonna rate her, you can rate
I
me.
don't want people to rate my girl.
Oh, I haven't seen you standing up, really.
Yeah, you gotta do a little twirl.
I have to stand up and do it.
If you stand up and twirl, I can rate you.
What about from just like what you see here?
6.
A 6.
Yeah.
You're a
Say
10
that.
to me, Erin.
Oh, God. Women just lie to each other.
I don't think it's a lie.
Women just lie to each other. She's a 10. She's perfect.
Well, I don't consider. Okay, sorry. You are a 9.
Wow.
My bad.
Why?
Nobody's perfect.
Oh, okay. So if I had said I was a 6 out of 10, do you think that would have been like vain of me or like vapid, superficial?
If you said you were a 6,
Yeah.
that'd be accurate.
Do you think it would be accurate? What if I had said I was like a 9? Or like even just like a 7 or an 8?
7 is too basic. If you said an 8, I'd be like,
Nah.
Hee.
Whew. Well, you would have humbled me.
Yeah, I would have been like, come on. Come on.
Okay, who's your idea of like a 9 then?
My idea of a 9,
Or like who's a celebrity that's a 9? Or like a model?
I think
or
Emily Ratajkowski is pretty, even though she makes no sense at all, and the stuff she said on the podcast is stupid. I think Emily Ratajkowski is pretty attractive.
something. She's a 9.
Oh,
Or she's
yeah.
a 10 out of 10.
Maybe 3 years ago, I'd give her a 9. She's declining now.
Even Emrata, she's an 8. You think Emrata is an 8 out of 10?
8.5.
8.5.
8.5.
Okay, I feel like if I'm only 2.5 points away from Emrata, like I don't feel about that.
I don't even know how that person looks. I don't know who you're talking
Who
about.
The chat was asking your body count this whole time.
My body count?
Yeah.
What do you think? What? Well, you said that you can tell. Okay, what women's body
You're
counts
23?
are. I'm 24.
24? 24.
24.
Yeah, I think you took a dick a year.
Dick a year, starting when?
16. And I think you had a couple girl.
A dick
I think you had.
if you said a dick a year, that would mean that I was fucking from when I was fucking
Oh,
0.
no, it's an average. It's an average, you know. But when you were 16, I think you had some girl on girl experiences too.
Why? I give gay vibes or what?
Well, no, the stuff you believe in and the goth thing, like usually a little bit bi. You probably call yourself bisexual.
No.
No?
Pansexual.
That's the same shit. Yo, even Destiny laughed, bro. Pansexual.
It's not politically correct to be bisexual anymore. You
Oh,
gotta be
right.
pansexual. Yeah. Bisexual means you're transphobic.
Okay.
There's literally nobody who's bisexual anymore. It's all pansexual.
Pansexual means I'm sexually attracted to pans.
Yo, Sneako is the best, and I don't care what you think about him. Sneako the GOAT. Thank you, Flo. Say W Flo.
Wait, what'd they say?
W Flo said Sneako's the best, and I don't care what you think of him. Sneako the GOAT. W Flo?
No, fuck him.
Yo, what? Flo, you gonna take that?
I'm not here to meat ride.
So what? Yeah. What's the body? What about you?
What about me?
What's the body count?
I don't even disclose that.
Oh, I thought it doesn't matter.
No.
Women are like bigger
Well,
than their sexual experiences.
I agree with you, but I am private about that stuff. I don't
Why?
like because I have things I'm comfortable sharing and things I'm not comfortable sharing.
But why are you uncomfortable sharing that?
Because I feel like people online, when you're a girl online, it's so. I feel like if you start talking about things related to your sexuality, a lot of people sexualize you. And I feel like I don't feel the most comfortable with that, having people put that on me, you know? If I decide to talk about it, then I'm okay with that, I feel like. But if I'm not talking about it, then I don't want people to talk about it, if that makes sense.
Fair.
What's your body count?
I'm not sure. I'm not. You say, I'll say. You tell me, I'll tell you.
I honestly,
You don't know?
no.
Bomboka!
But I don't think it's important to keep track.
Damn. When did you lose count? What number did you start losing count?
No, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a high number. It's just not something that I would find important.
But you don't. So you don't know the number? You have no like ballpark, like within a 5 bodies range.
You give your ballpark first.
Between 70 and 200.
You don't know your own body count.
I just gave you a ballpark between 70 and 200.
That is
Or
over
we're-
100 people that you can't keep track of, or you possibly don't know.
Or if you're, unless you're gonna be.
Yeah,
willing
Chad.
to
They know
admit it
damn
as
well what the ballpark is. Like, it's not important once you get past 20, and then you start thinking that it's important. think mine is 110. Now your turn. Ready? She's not gonna answer.
Wait, what was that? Did you? Oh, okay. I thought you like checked behind the board to see a number.
My battery died.
What the fuck?
Wait, do you know about like dummy batteries?
Yeah, I have one. It just doesn't work.
Oh.
W dodged the question.
What was the question?
Oh, you want the actual number?
Yeah.
No, I know the actual number, but like I'm saying like Pxie.
Oh.
I will disclose it, but like not. It's.
Why are you asking me?
Right,
I hate
right on a
talk. I
stream?
don't know. Like,
I thought that women shouldn't be determined on their just sex. I thought women are more important than the people they have sex with. I thought it doesn't matter. Women, should you be empowered? Should you be sexually liberated?
no,
But,
I
like-
think women should be sexually liberated. I just
So
think
say the number.
for me or
Yeah.
for
If you're supposed to be sexually liberated and empowered.
part of sexual liberation is either choosing to go have a bunch of sex or have it or saying your numbers or talking about
Right.
your sexual experiences.
So it doesn't determine your value.
Or yeah, it doesn't.
Oh, so what is it? If it doesn't matter, what is it?
Or choosing not to, saying, hey, if I don't want to talk about it, I don't have to talk about it. Sexual liberation is that you get to make the choice on whether you want to talk about it a bunch, do it a bunch, or not do it a bunch, or not talk about it.
You don't seem that liberated because you have all these sentences about it, but it's just a number. It just takes one.
Well,
word.
what is it? If you want to think I'm oppressed, you can think I'm oppressed.
I mean,
I don't
like,
think you're
but
oppressed.
doesn't that go both ways? Like, if it's just a number, then it shouldn't be a big deal. If like, no
It's
one
not a big.
discloses
It's not a big deal. That's why you could just tell me because it's not a big deal at all.
or I could just not disclose it.
Oh, so it is a big deal if you're afraid to say it.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're trying to have it both ways. You're trying to like say it doesn't matter, but then when I'm like,
If it doesn't matter, then you would.
I'm not
If
gonna
it doesn't
disclose
matter, you would tell me.
well, I'll tell you off stream or whatever. Sure.
Oh, so it does matter. Your public perception does matter, but one-on-one it doesn't.
What? Well, like off stream, I wouldn't just like tell it to you right away or whatever.
Oh, okay.
What if we were getting into
Sounds like it
a
matters.
about sex?
Sounds like it's extremely important and does determine a female's value. If
Oh
you
my
can't say it
God.
publicly, because I said mine.
mean,
I said mine. I don't care.
acknowledging like the descriptive reality that like society does place an undue weight on like people's body counts. I would say like men also to a certain extent are judged for it, not to the same extent, but
If you were liberated, you wouldn't care about what they say.
Yeah, then I'm still oppressed. I still care about what people say about me
All right.
sometimes, and I don't like it.
Sounds like you're a little red pilled.
Well,
Guillermo, thanks for the 10. When you debate it in panels, it's usually balanced and Sneako 3 versus 1 and holding it very well. Huge respect, Sneako. Thank you, Guillermo.
I just, what is it? Here's a descriptive reality. When you start talking about sex online as a woman, a bunch of people start sending you really nasty and gross messages.
Oh, victim? Okay.
Well, yeah, you can think I'm a victim. You think that's not true? Do you think I'm lying?
Yeah.
You think I'm lying?
I'm sure that there's negative interactions on the internet regardless of your body count.
No, but you don't think that when a woman talks about sex, they don't get a bunch of creepy guys in their PMs being like, oh, I want to like come on you, whatever,
Here's the thing.
blah, blah, blah.
If it was 4 or 5, you would have said it. The fact that it's in the 20s and 30s is why you're staying quiet right now.
What do you mean 20s? Are you
Wait,
talking about my body count?
yeah, do you think? Well, mine. Do you think is that like? Well, I can see things both of us.
I think yours is 24.
20s.
I think yours is 19, 20. That's why.
You're just trying to bait me to tell
I ain't
you.
trying to bait you
You
because
are so trying to bait me to tell you. Fuck
you know
off.
I really don't care, but I'm just saying like
Nah, you're fucking
if it
baiting
was-
me,
If
man.
you care, you would not still be on this. If we had just said like, nah, we don't want to say
no,
it.
I genuinely don't care, but I like how it's exposing the double standard over here. How you were trying to say that it doesn't matter, men and women are the same, masculinity,
okay,
femininity,
fuck
and
off.
now when it comes to body count,
No, it's my personal preference.
all right,
No,
I don't
it's
wanna-
more like I don't make a habit of discussing my sex life on stream.
okay.
Same.
Yeah,
Do you
you
talk about
had a
your
lot
sex
of
life
questions
on
about my sex life and what
You
I
don't
do.
have to answer
You
it.
had nonstop questions about what I do on dates, what type of marriage I want, what type of girl I want. You even judged
didn't
my
have to
you even
answer.
judged my philosophy, what I think about life, and then I ask about your body count.
Sneako, you didn't have to
I know,
answer
but like,
any of those questions.
yeah, you don't have to answer any of them.
Yeah, just like you don't have to answer it either. But I'm open,
Okay,
honest,
did I ever insult?
and I'm not afraid of judgment.
I asked you earlier
Wait.
what university you went to,
Yeah, you
and
didn't
you
just-
said no.
That is
I don't
because
want- and then
I don't want to
said,
get
oh,
doxxed. I don't want people to know. But that's different. That's
What
like
do you mean? You don't want people to know personal, private information about you?
no, I don't want them to be able. That's doxing. That's different than your body count. That's
I
completely
mean,
different.
it's the idea that
That's like knowing your address. That's different.
Okay, so you think if somebody knew the university you went to, they'd be able to find out where you currently live?
Yeah, then they would know people I went to school with. They could go talk to them, and now that's different type of information. That's how they go find you. Your body count, they're not gonna find you. We're just gonna know a little bit more about you.
They're just gonna talk about it nonstop, and I think it doesn't matter if I've had sex with 100 people
Oh,
or
really?
0
100?
people. I'm saying it doesn't matter if it's
it doesn't matter, so tell me.
If it's 100 or 0. But that's the thing. Once I know you guys, I know how the fucking manosphere red pill shit is.
But you shouldn't care because we're wrong.
Yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that you guys are gonna think it's a total dunk or
Why do you care what we think if you think we're dumb?
Because I'm stubborn. I really am stubborn.
All right, there
okay,
you go.
it's
Stubborn.
literally just that. I really hate when people jerk themselves off thinking that they got a total own in something that I think is stupid. That's it. I just don't want to give you guys satisfaction.
So did you find the questions about like your dating preferences and stuff to be like, I crossed the line or I asked something that was too personal?
Absolutely not. I answered them because I'm not afraid of judgment.
Well, you characterize them as like personal questions. Earlier.
No,
like,
it is a personal question.
Asking you like inappropriate.
It's not inappropriate.
I wouldn't have asked
It's not
you.
inappropriate. I think it's as appropriate as asking your body count. It's seeing what you think about sex and what type of relationship you want. You ask me every single type of question about my relationship status and what I'm looking for. I'm asking you about your sexual past. Same thing. You ask like, what do you do on dates? How many dates should you go on? Specifics. I told you everything. I'm asking simple questions.
I'm trying to get into the mind of like a red pillar though.
A red pillar? I mean, well, here's how it is. The chat knows, like, the more you keep on dodging this question, they're like, what the fuck, 20, 30, 40?
That's okay. They can think I had sex with 200, 300 people. Chat, you can think I had sex with everybody on the planet. Okay? Literally. I'm okay with that. I just don't want to say or give you guys the satisfaction of what the
Allahu Akbar!
I kind of want to whisper it to Erin's ear because I think you would find it funny.
Chat, just know, if they were virgins, they would have said it. If it was 5,
No.
they would have said it. Look how Destiny's quiet too. They would have said that shit. The red pill's true, man. Damn, they're laughing pretty loud. I heard it. They said 33. That's crazy, bro.
No, I actually said 2 million, and you missed it. That's why we were laughing so hard. You guessed too low. Next time, try higher.
No, I am guessing higher. I'm being generous, saying 33.
Generous? So you think it's lower?
I don't. I really. Do you, boo-boo? Take sex out of it by definition. If something isn't a big deal, there's no reason to not discuss it. If there is a reason to not discuss it, then it is a big deal, or at least a medium deal. Exactly, but it's fine.
It should become not a big deal.
Wait, so why do you think body counts are important?
Because it shows like what you're doing in your past. It shows like what you value in relationships, and you know what you're doing, and if I should spend a future with you.
I don't want a future with you, Sneako.
I don't want one either, because you have fucking 2 million. Fuck. I'm good off that. I'm good off a she-they with 9,000, you know what I'm saying?
Again, too low. It's, 3.5 billion at this point.
Yeah, same for me. It's just too many to count.
No, I count. It's just like actually
It's
like
really
half
high.
the world's population.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
No.
Destiny, what you doing? You about to get food?
If you want to. Why, you hungry?
I could eat.
Do you want to ask them the 3-country question just to see?
No, they know 3 countries. They know 3 countries.
Any other shit tests?
That wasn't a shit test. That was just, you asked me a lot of questions for a couple hours. I asked you one.
Okay.
Can't answer it.
You can ask personal questions that are not about my sex life.
All right. You see how I wasn't picky about anything you asked me.
Yeah, that's fair. If you wanted to be picky, you
Based,
could.
open, and red pill. Okay, maybe it's because I'm not red pilled enough. Once I'm more red pilled, then I will go like shouting my body count.
The humor's not really deflecting from the actual question. I know you're trying to joke away out of it, but the chat's like...
No. Is it not clear? I'm like not going to tell you my body count.
Chat's like, they see what you're doing. It's fine. All right, chat, I'm going to end stream. WDailyStream streamer, rumble.com/Sneako every single day, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you to the lovely ladies and Destiny coming on. R Bravo says, tell Destiny to stop fucking scrolling and do some push-ups. Destiny, you want to do those 20 push-ups now?
I don't know if I can do 20 anymore. I'll do 10 for you if you want.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Let me put these chairs back. Remember, Creativity Kit February 1st, bringing all these professors on. I think Amjad is in here. Sonny's a new professor as well. The website's looking dope, chat.
Are you going first?
What we do at the same time? Push-up competition.
Well,
Let's raise our testosterone.
I'll watch you, okay?
You can't do push-ups at the same time?
No, because I just want to see video row push-ups or baby push-ups. I should put this in center.
20 for you, Matter. I didn't forget. Come on, these are real push-ups. Come on, Destiny.
Yeah, I'm watching you.
Come on, stop watching me. Fucking do it. 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That was.
Okay, Judge Destiny's
I'm
phone.
gonna send you a gym workout thing. I'm so fucking inspired right now. Okay. Oh.
Let's go! Yeah! I'm slowly gonna red pill Destiny. One of us, one of us, one of us. All right, chat, I'll see you tomorrow. W Daily Stream, all that. Make sure to say a prayer tonight. Bye.
What kind? Wait,
love
Christian
you.
Or Muslim?
At least you praying to God, man.
Well, God or
talk to
Allah?
God. Talk to God. Allah means God. Come on, man. You know better than that. I'm good. Creativity kid for the win. Let's go. W form. You're getting a lot of W form in the chat. Destiny, good shit. All right, bye, guys.